I'm back, baby! Hey, yo! Wait a minute, what's good? Even psychics in chat? Loud? No, turn your ears down. Yo! Just as old as the day he left? I guess older, actually. Sir Octopus, the white Luca, thank you for the 43 months. Ecto watches. You get a rage bait. You said you're wrong about the Trump administration and the economy will recover easily. Maybe you're right. Maybe Donnie T's got it all figured out. Mr. Ball, Twitch, thank you for the prime. Sad Salmon, thank you for the gifties. Shady Matlos, thank you for the 36 months. Quickly and easily. Day one. Well, day 100 or something. Day 200. We'll get it figured out. Hello. E Biggs, thank you for the 63 months. Jesus Christ, 63. Chicken Joe, I have an interview tomorrow for a huge promotion. Wish me luck, gonna need it. You have an interview for promotion, huh? Interesting. And what cut are you gonna give back to me? Do you know what I'm saying? What you are a viewer and you're getting a promotion, so therefore part of it should go back to the content creator, right? That just makes sense. Where were you? I was in Arizona. A little bit of a family event. I had to fly out for. So I thankfully, dude, actually, I gotta tell you. Wait, I gotta tell you guys a story. So I had to go to this family thing. All right. Kind of an emergency. I had to fly out. So I buy a flight. Okay. I buy a flight, a one-way flight, because I don't even know what my return flight's going to be. I buy a one-way flight out of LA to Arizona. And right before the flight, I'm like, fuck, dude, I got to record a clip because I'm not going to be able to stream. So I have to record a clip. So I record this clip. I'm going to show you right now. This one. One of the biggest business. Okay. I record this clip. Business stories of the year just happened, and I have to catch a flight in 20 minutes. So let's get into it. Okay. I get to the airport. Oh, wait, we need chat. I get to the airport 8 minutes late for that flight. So I missed it. Okay. So you'll notice my next clip, get money myself for many years now, even before. Look, I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about NASCAR here. This clip is like 2 hours later. I changed clothes and I was like, fuck it, I might as well record another clip to be safe in case I'm there for another day. And then I record that clip and, okay, wait. So I missed the first flight because of the first clip. So I book a second flight. Then I record this second clip. While I finished this clip, this is like 20 minutes edited down. It was like 40 minutes not edited down. So I record the flight and I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I'm late for my second flight. I get in the fucking car. I'm like, oh, you gotta drive me. So I get in the car and I'm driving. And then halfway there, I realize I'm not going to fucking make it. I missed my second flight for the second clip. So I have to get a third flight. I have to get a third fucking flight in one day. This time I don't record a third clip and I make it on time. And that's why I'm live today. I don't have a third clip to go. I don't have a third clip, bro, but 2 flights I missed in the same day because of clips. How fucked up is that? I hate streamers, man. Well, I was an offline thing. That was a YouTube thing. So I'm not a streamer. So you can't blame me for it. Did the airlines know it was an emergency and price gouge you? Probably. Certainly. I mean, the first, not that you need to know all the fucking details, but the first time when I canceled the flight, I canceled it in time to get credit. So I just moved that to the next flight. It didn't cost me very much. It cost me almost nothing. But then the next flight, the one that I wanted, was a different airline because I didn't want to leave like 8 hours later. I wanted to leave like as soon as I could. So I got instead of getting fucking Delta, I got Southwest or something. So I had to pay for 2 separate flights. I paid for 2 separate flights. It costs money to cancel a flight. No, but it costs money to, if you transfer to a different flight and it costs more, you got to pay that. Anyway, does the clip pay for the flight? Yes. You want to be honest? Yes. Yes, dude. Fuck yeah. You think I'm yeah, of course. Yeah, clip does. Clips do numbers, bro. Clips do numbers. I'm not gonna fucking pretend like that clips don't do numbers. K-shaped economy, bro. K-shaped economy. What do you want me to say? The clips do numbers. K-shaped, ain't that the damn truth? Hey, big guy, I got offered a job offer today, but it's pretty shit pay / hours. I only applied because it's one-click apply, and I've been unemployed since August due to the Trump NIH cuts. Should I just shuck it up and take the job, or would I see if other interviews land me something? Pixel Dimensions. This is a serious issue, and I have a serious question for you. Why are you asking your streamer? In what world can I give you the answer that's so determined on your own personal financial situation, your willingness to put up with that job, whether or not you'll like it, your idea of how the vibe was with the fucking interview? Like, I'm not gonna know off the fucking rip what is gonna be a right fit for you. Ask Reddit, of course. Bro, I literally don't know what to tell you. That would be so personally dependent. If you absolutely need a job and absolutely need the money, then I guess you have to take it, right? But you didn't give me the context that I would need to answer that question. Grok can answer it. A Reddit post, my wife divorced me after seeing my chat messages with my favorite streamer. I do think, this is unironic, I do think that for a lot of you, if your chat messages were printed out and handed publicly to people in your lives, it would cause you serious damage. If people around you that you interact with in the real world knew all of your chat messages, they would see you differently. That's what I think. Especially local hot dog vendors. They would think they have a great client. Hexavalent Copper, they have the 33 months. Machu42, they give it the 9. Yo, Big Gliz, I'm watching the Eagles game, but how was Sudan? You thought I went to Sudan? I went to Arizona. You thought I hopped on a solo flight to Sudan? Same thing, I guess, in a way. Fewer Camphor, they give it the 9 months. Ruler Death, they give it the 45. Appreciate it. They give it the streaks. Holy shit. Projections, they give it the 52. October 1917, Pog, they have the 60 months, same age as Big A. Interesting. I'm 60 months old. Is what you're saying? Certainly not saying I'm 60 years. I was at the mall with my mom, and she asked me, if the economy's so bad, why is the mall so packed? Did a fucking Reddit smirk. And then 30 minutes later, we saw a guy in front of us buying designer clothes with Klarna. Evidence for both sides there. Problem? What's wrong with a little fashion? Going into debt to look fly is a good deal. That's what I've always said. If you're not buying Enron hats with Klarna, what are you doing? How are you going to know? Modern problems require modern solutions. What exactly, in your opinion, is the modern problem that requires designer clothes? What is the modern problem that requires you to go into debt for designer clothes? Not looking fly? First of all, is that a modern problem or is that an always problem? Being dripless, I see, I guess. That doesn't make sense. So you're dripless. Invest in yourself before you invest in others. And then you did like the sweetie. Okay. All right. No, I see it. You got to put on your own oxygen mask before you help the kid. You know what I'm saying? You got to, if you don't feel fly, how are you going to help other people around you feel fly? I see what you're saying. You guys have sort of convinced me. You've won me over. I'm going to go buy designer jeans at $1,000 a pop. On Klarna. What are your thoughts on Carvana being added to the S&P 500? When you ask me this question, do you sincerely think you don't know the answer already? Do you think I'm going to be like, you know what? I think it's really cool. Do you think, I mean, you know, the fact that you're asking the question, you know my stance already. Like what it's like, there's no point to it. It's rage bait. If anything, you want me to fucking crash out. Yeah, I hate Carvana. I think it's a fraudulent company. I think the fact that every American's retirement has to purchase Carvana shares is the biggest fucking joke. The idea that people have to have a certain ownership of Carvana as part of their mandated retirement is fucking ridiculous. But who am I to do anything about it, bro? Who am I doing anything about it? Isto! Thank you for the 49 months. Isto, you are 30 plus. You cannot be telling me the big 4-9 can't wait to get to 6-7. You just can't. You're just, you run a company. You have employees. I was at your wedding. Yeah, there's no, there is no cause for you to be doing this. That is not, TBH, I don't even know what that means. Dude, I was watching the Lakers, as I do, the other day, and the two commentators are like 60 plus, right? They're just old guys. I should know their names, but I don't. And the two Lakers commentators. And at one point, one of them goes, 6-7 points, 6-7. Yeah, Stu and Bill. And they go 6-7. And then the other guy goes, what is this whole 6-7 thing? And the other guy goes, I don't really know. I just know that everyone's saying it. And then they went off on this little 6-7 tangent for at least 5 minutes during the middle of a great game. Oh yeah, it was Jake LaRavia's height. That's what he's about 6'7". 6'7". It was crazy. So they don't know either, but they're doing it. Atrioc, hot take, NBA commentator might be a harder job than Twitch streamer. Nope, wrong. The reason I know you're wrong is because there is no harder job than Twitch streamer. It's not like I have to weigh the pros and cons. You could say anything. You could say I have to do deep underwater mining as sharks try to eat me. And I'll be like, well, that's difficult. It's just not as hard as Twitch streaming. My girlfriend's dad is a Fox News lover. Okay, I have a funny story about dads and being Southern conservative coded. Okay, but I have to be careful because I don't want to show anything. Okay, so I did a clip yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah. Look, I'm not going to pretend. I did a clip yesterday. This is the clip. Okay? I did a clip where I talk about NASCAR, the NASCAR monopoly and Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's attempt to break it. Okay? I did a NASCAR clip. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I think it's pretty good. The best part of it was there's no chat. I missed the flight for this clip. Okay, so I did a NASCAR clip. And Drop Spindle of the ACLU, Drop Spindle of the Popathon songs, Drop Spindle of the Union fame. Drop Spindle, her dad is really into NASCAR. So she sends the clip to him. And then she messages me, says, my dad has some notes. I'm not going to leak it. She sends me pictures of live texts her dad sends her about the clip. So he's texting her as he's watching it. And then, okay. Now, overall, I will say he's pretty positive, which is good because he's a NASCAR fan. But he's really hung up my pronunciation, which I do get wrong. The team I call 23XI, but it's pronounced 2311. I was reading the Roman numeral, but real NASCAR heads just say 2311. And I didn't know that. Okay? So, but I, so I respond, I say, tell your dad, and I respond to some of the thing. Like, well, this part's in the video. Because sometimes he was live texting things before he watched the full video, which I hate. He's like, he didn't even mention this. And I'm like, that's in the video, brother. That's in the video right at the end. All right? He's a fucking commentator. He's live texting. Okay? So I tell her, text him back. And then she goes, LMAO, I'll pass it on. And then she waits 30 minutes and then says, he never calls me this late, but he hit me up at midnight to teach me how to record a voice memo so he can send you this. I do not want to dox her in her dad's voice or anything. I'm not going to play the clip, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my audio. Okay. I'm going to mute the output so you can only hear my voice now. And I'm going to listen to the clip and try to reenact it for you. I'm going to try and reenact it for you because I don't want to play the clip. I haven't gotten permission. Here, let me test right now. Can you guys hear this? Can you guys hear this? Do you hear this? What did it say? Everyone's saying yes. What did it say? Name even one word. Penis. No. I was listening to an audio track that just said glizzy over and over. How'd you guess? How'd you fucking guess? All right, you guys can hear it. Okay. So I'm going to play the clip and then I'm going to reenact it. It's only a minute long. Okay. This is the clip that her father sent me at midnight. By the way, the thing I have to stress is that he has a fucking tone. He's got a tone. Okay. So he starts off by saying, okay, wait. Okay, first thing he says, he goes, okay, first of all, for a guy that's never even watched a race, never been to a race, I can tell you've done your homework. It's pretty good. You got a lot of the facts okay. But there's one fact you really screwed up on. And it makes you sound like you got no street cred. It's 2311, not 23XI. He's like, yes, you're right. Denny Hamlin owns, Denny Hamlin drives for Joe Gibbs Racing. But he also owns 2311. Not XI. And then he does this really condescending tone. When he drives for Joe Gibbs, his number is 11. When he owns the team, it's 2311. Michael Jordan played as the number 23. I get it. I get it. Okay. Okay, he's still going. I forgot. I didn't see the last half. And now he's saying, I would dare you to try to find a broadcast, a radio thing, a live stream, a TV where they don't call it 2311. Okay, now he says, if you do that, you got a legitimate case for why NASCAR needs to change what you're doing. I appreciate you doing the podcast. I think it's a good argument, but you got to fix your street cred. That's fair. And that's fair, Papa Drop Spindle. Okay, that's fair. I will refer to it as 2311 from now on. 2311. That's fair. I thought it might have been 23-10-1. I thought it might have been 23 Xi Jinping. 23 Xi. But it's 23-11. Okay, I got it. Understood. I'd only seen it in writing. That's like when I read all the Harry Potter books and I thought it was pronounced Hermione. Okay, it's Hermione. These are things you figure out when you hear it pronounced for the first time. That's how it goes, bro. That's how it fucking goes. But I do stand by the principles of the video, which are that NASCAR is quite possibly an illegal monopoly that is driving. Oh my God, a little pun there. Its teams and drivers into financial ruin for their own benefit. How about that? So, little update. I do want to talk about the Paramount stuff. Very importantly, very big deal, actually. But we can do that in just a second, maybe like in 10 minutes. How's everybody doing? I haven't been live for a minute. I haven't been live. Is there anything crazy that happened? I saw Streamer Rewards, got insane viewership, did very well. Congratulations to Cutie Cinderella. Congratulations, that's awesome. I saw, what else happened? I don't know what else happened. Wubby did something. Wubby did tag. Squeak stormed the Capitol again. It wasn't as fun the second time. Coffeezilla talked about gambling on bills. Good for him. What, this happened? Oh, this is so funny, dude. I saw this. Look, bro, the teleoperated Optimus robot. He takes off the headset and then it just falls. This is like a god tier reaction meme. Like whenever you see something really fucking stupid on Twitter, I just want to post this. Like I'm just fucking get me out of the simulation. I'm out. This is at an event called Autonomy Visualized. Yeah, I mean, this robot shit is crap. I mean, I've been thinking more that people are underrating how impactful robotics is going to be. I do agree. But not home robotics like this. Like, I think industrial robotics is getting fucking crazy out of China, dude. They're making robots that can do every part of a factory job. Everything that would need to be moved or done in a factory. And I don't think they're going to make a robot like this to hand you water at scale anytime realistically soon. But robotics advancements in factories is getting insane. Yeah, Shenzhen. Dude, they're going some crazy shit in Shenzhen. I think the idea that they're all going to be human body shaped is pretty limiting. Hey, Fish Shrimp, thank you for that 10 gifted. Much appreciated. I have not streamed, bro. I thank you for the gifties, bro. I got no subs. I got no subs. I got no hoes. I got no crypto, bro. But I do have a genuine love for the news. So we will talk about that in a second. You have a wife? Yeah, that's why I have no hoes. That's exactly right. I'm not saying I want hoes. I'm saying I have none. All right? Do you understand? I'm just covering the fucking bases. I'm telling you what I do and don't have. It's called wisdom, bro. It's called respecting women. Have you been playing this set of TFT? I did play a set of TFT. Okay, here's the thing about this fucking set of TFT. I got a little rant on this. Normally, I wouldn't even bring this up. This fucking set of TFT is the least playable on a phone this game has ever been. They made it too fucking complicated for my peanut brain, and I can't play it on the phone, and I can't fucking see what shit I gotta unlock. Let me fucking gamble. They made it. Here's the problem is I used to be the opposite guy. I was like, make the game as skill expressive as possible. And now I'm like, TFT is a game for degenerate gamblers. Don't forget your roots. This new set is all about like fucking making constant changes to your board and fucking adapting. And if I wanted to do that, I'd play a real fucking game. If I wanted to do all that, I'd play an actual good competitive game. I want to play a fucking 2-cost reroll comp and turn my brain off. Bro, I want to fucking hit and win and feel good. So I'm saying, I'll fucking say, I'll be the man who stands up, because everybody's circle jerking. Everybody about this set is like, oh, yes, yes, indeed. Finally, a TFT for the elites. The greatest set ever made. Finally, I can, and it's like, bro, okay, I get that it's good, but legitimately, maybe I just want to fucking gamble. That was you last year? Last year, I played more on PC. Now I play on the fucking phone a lot. Just play Yordle? Dude, I have been. Everybody in every game is doing like late game Fast 9 Bill Gates comp where they have to think a lot, and I just pick Yordle. I pick some fucking reroll comp. And I play on my damn phone. It's tough. It's tough, bro. It's tough. Yono, thank you for the 19 months. Thank you for the 19 months. Did you see the news about allowing the president to fire? Dude, every day I stream, every single day of this year that I have streamed. By the way, I keep hitting the thing. Every single day of the year I've streamed, someone has come in here and been like, did you see Trump did this? And it's some bad thing. Here's the answer. I've seen it every time. I've seen it every time. Sometimes it's not worth doing the whole thing every day. If it's a big enough deal, I'll do it. But if it's like, do you know what I'm saying? I can't do it all. I see it every time. All right. I read Financial Times. I read fucking Business Insider. I read New York Times. I read Substack. I read fucking Twitter. All right. I know the update of the day. But I can't muster up an insanity for everything. You know, it's like, it's bad. Have you talked about the Diddy documentary? So I have not, and I don't know anything about it, but I did overhear two guys at the gym talking about this. And they said, what did they say, dude? They were like, one guy was saying like, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that Diddy is the reason that Tupac died. I mean, I already thought that. I don't know what is the documentary part of that? People were, I already thought that's well established. Is that the big revelation? I haven't seen it. Show us your Spotify Wrapped. Okay. I have nothing against it. I think the Diddy documentary is funny because 50 Cent funded it, and 50 Cent's ability to troll people and win beefs is fucking hilarious. I think 50 Cent's one of my favorite people. You guys know, for a fucking white kid born in the 90s, I am shockingly the world's biggest 50 Cent fan. I've read all his books. You guys, I think you'd be surprised at how much I love 50 Cent. He's one of my icons of life. I look up to him. I literally in college read 50 Cent's book and like modeled my life after it. I was like, this guy's onto something. All right. So I'm not going to pretend like I don't fuck with 50 Cent, but I don't have a particular, I don't think I'm going to learn anything new from this Diddy documentary. They're like, was Diddy a freak? I already know that. Was he involved in the murder of Tupac? I already know that. What else am I going to get? But I might, if it's important, if it's the Tiger King of the era, I'll watch it. I prefer G-Unit 50. He's soft now. Don't ever disrespect 50 Cent on my presence. He's not soft now, bro. He turned a life on the streets into a multi-million-dollar rap career, then turned that into $250 million from vitamin water, then turned that into 3 successful books, and then turned that into a massive TV producer. Okay, he made the show Power, which is a smash hit. He's been a multi-hyphenate. And unlike 99% of rappers, he actually started from the bottom. His mom was actually a single mother drug addicted. He actually got shot 9 times. It's an incredible story. His life story is incredible. And he made many men. He made many men. So now, did he start as someone who founded the Esports Association at Arizona State University? No, that's a more difficult road. Okay? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say he had the hardest life. I said he had a hard life. Obviously, I had a more difficult path to walk. Okay? But that's not everybody's going to have the same circumstances. I still have to. Dude, I even read. So 50 Cent wrote 2 books. They're on my shelf. Probably with fucking underlined passages in them. He wrote 2 books. But he also, and I also own this, he loved the book 48 Laws of Power so much that he added 2 laws to it and called it the 50th Law. And I also bought that. It's just the same book, but at the end it's like you gotta learn how to hustle and grind or something. I don't remember the 50th Law. But it's also, by the way, you know, if you're in college, you can read a book like that and be like, holy shit, this is how I have to live my life. But it's actually such a terrible, terrible way to live your life. It's such a, if you try to follow the 50 laws of power, you will lose all your friends and it's like sociopathic, but also in like an obvious, terrible way. Like it will not work. However, I still like the book. I'd still even possibly recommend it only because every chapter is a stupid, useless law and then a really interesting historical story. And the stories are really fun. The stories are really fun. So I don't hate it for that much. Big A, I was at the bank today and some people came in asking about how they can get their Trump inflation checks. I couldn't believe my ears. Is that real? Well, it's not real currently. I mean, he's discussed it like a $2,000 bailout check, but it hasn't happened. What up, TZ? But no, it hasn't happened. So it is funny that they're getting bullied by social media into going in. What did Tears you say? In other news, Maduro is still running Venezuela. That's true. That is true. Though the pressure campaign has intensified. I do want to talk about it, but I'm not ready for my slides, so I'm waiting. You know, we'll talk about it. I do think it's I think it is the big story. The global realignment towards the Western Hemisphere. It got confirmed basically today or the other day. The U.S. What was it? The Pentagon or whatever put out this like strategy document. I don't know if it leaked or it came out, but this idea of the Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, which is going to push China and Russia influence out of the Western Hemisphere, starting with Venezuela. I'll go into it. I'm kind of spoiling. I want to talk about it on a different day, but there's a lot happening that I'm kind of waiting for. Any updates on the LS Patreon episode release? I recorded it today, so it comes out tomorrow. And it was a funny one. We recorded it today. It was a hoot. Aiden was chortling. Doug was laughing. I was laughing. It was a good one. I think the Brawny train might be over. Out of 15 Brawny videos from Awful Coaching, dude, I watch Awful Coaching every day. I think I just commented on it. I wonder if I got any responses. I'm hungry for upvotes. I did. I guess, you know what? It is fun to get upvotes on your YouTube comment, even though it doesn't mean anything. Every time I watch this guy, he's just a guy that talks about the NBA and loudly talks shit. I mean, I'll just show you his fucking example. Anyway, every week he just screams as loud as he can about how stupid drop coverage is. Oh, it's still muted. Oh, it's still muted? Wait.
Teams and their fucking drop coverage. Luka and LeBron cannot be stopped if you drop the big like this. Look at this space for Luka to get into the lane. It's not, Tyrese Maxey has no hope because he's trying to get over the top and play one-on-one, and you're just letting Luka get right back in to the easiest fucking shot of his life, the step back two. I am begging you. My lovely mother is begging you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The Lakers can run this same boring-ass play with LeBron and ISO.
Anyway, he just screams every game, every day. He screams at it, and 90% of it is saying how stupid drop coverage is. So I just responded before I even watched the video, and I was like, heh, I bet they ran drop coverage, fools. And I farmed up votes, bro. It's just funny. It's just funny. Okay. All right. What time is it? I do need to cover. Yeah. Anything else you want to say? Otherwise, I want to talk about this Paramount thing because it's fucking interesting. Thoughts on Marques Aurelius. Okay. Here's the thing. Like most Sigma grindset young men, I read Meditations by Marques Aurelius, and I even have a fucking Memento Mori Roman coin. However, the truth of Marques Aurelius and Meditations and Stoicism is that the real life Marques Aurelius wasn't that fucking stoic. So, he talked a big fucking game. You know, he talks about how you have to like manage your emotions and do what you can control and not get fucking heated on things. And then in real life, his wife cheated on him with a gladiator. And so he killed the gladiator in front of her, made a tub of his blood, and made her bathe in it. So he was kind of a fucking psychopath. He was kind of unhinged and deeply emotional. Okay? So he's not like this, like, he's not what a stoic ideal would be. So I would hesitate before you buy too much into all that stuff. But the general idea of like, you know, keeping your mind on things you can actually control, not letting shit outside your control fucking ruin your mood. That kind of stuff is it's a good attitude. And then the Memento Mori thing is like, you know, if you think every now and then that, hey, I'm gonna die one day, it kind of reminds you to not waste so much fucking time, which we all do. We all waste so much time. And when you think about that, it's like, oh, damn, I really should probably do something that I care about and not scroll for 18 hours. Can't a guy have hobbies? Of course. That's all I'm saying. Spending time with people you love or practicing something you're interested in or even taking a break is all fine, but obviously we know when we're wasting time, bro. We know there's a difference. We know there's a difference, bro. And sometimes you don't do it. Sometimes you don't fucking do it. Big A, just passing in to see if you've read Investing in U.S. Financial History by Mark Higgins. This is a joke. I'm like the only one who's read this book. I recommend it on stream. I'm pretty sure if you look at the fucking Amazon sales of this book, it's like frequently bought with Red Rising. Because I'm the only person to recommend it. I'm the only person to buy it. This is not like a fucking common book. This book didn't sell a bunch of fucking copies. Don't fucking act like I read the book. I really liked it. Fed rate predictions. I'm doing it's tomorrow, right? I'm going live early tomorrow to cover Jerome Powell's fucking final rate cut of the year. That's tomorrow. What time? How to watch FOMC. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? I think it's like 11. I think it's like 11:30. I think it's like 11:30. I'm checking. I need to know this because I have to do it tomorrow. What time is how and where to watch FOMC? Calendar. December 10th. No. December 9th. 10th? Wait, it's the 10th. It's not tomorrow. It's in 2 days. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 2:30. Okay. It's not tomorrow. Today's 12/8. It's Wednesday. Wednesday at 2:30 ET, so 11:30 my time. Perfect. I will be live. 2:30. What is it? The dentist every time? Sheesh. Eric Zoop, thank you for the 20 months. Would you say this year was kind? Will next year be kinder? I think I was pretty kind this year. Caught? I think I was pretty fucking kind this year. All things considered. I think I was pretty kind. All in. I even apologized to R-Dubs that one time about golf. That's a fucking kind thing to do. Goddamn. Probably the kindest streamer there is. I did bully Aiden, but let's not. It's the year of kindness, not the year of delusion, bro. You got I was fairly kind. Next year is the year of health, where I'm going all in on trying to get as healthy as I can with my sleep, with my diet, and with my exercise. Year of health. That's the plan. Coincidentally, it's called the YOH. Maybe it's the year of hate. It's make Atrioc healthy again. Maha, I've already been, I don't know if you guys notice, my energy levels are pretty high. I did 2 podcasts today and I'm still feeling very energetic because I've been sleeping fucking great. This is like the longest I've slept great in a long time. I'm probably 8 days in to really good sleep. Like on time, 8 hours plus.
Because of the firm mattress.
Because of the firm mattress. We got a brand new mattress. And it's firmer.
It's firm.
And Ari's been telling me that we need a firmer mattress for like 5 years. And I was like, who cares? It's a bed. And now we have a nicer mattress and I am sleeping better. But I think it's more that I'm not using the screens in bed.
It's not my problem. It's a you problem.
No, and none of us are using screens in bed, especially certain wives that have Steam Deck addictions and they like to play Digimon.
I'm done with that game.
On the.
I haven't played the Steam Deck like on the bed in a while.
In a while. Okay, I've only been doing this for a week and you've already done it during this week, so it can't be that long.
I have not played it.
It can't be that long. It can't be that long. You want to play Dispatch later or what? You don't have to. If you're not ready, you don't have to.
I'm
but
not feeling it today.
Tomorrow then.
Tomorrow.
Deal.
Oh.
Bye, babe. All right, we'll play tomorrow. That sounds fun. That sounds real fun. Do you Lemonade guys plan on doing the stock draft again? Oh, dude, I gotta record. Wait, answer questions afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, like 2 days ago, I made a clip about Netflix putting in a $87 billion offer to buy Warner Bros. And I wrung my head in my hands and I was upset because it's like a case of a super dominant company in a marketplace buying one of its competitors. And that's like bad antitrust law. And I wish Lena Khan was back and et cetera, et cetera. And then this morning, a brand new piece of that puzzle makes me want to cover it again. Because from the top ropes, dude, from the top ropes, let me add chat back. From the top ropes comes Paramount with a even bigger $108 billion hostile bid. Hostile. To try and shake up this whole thing. So the bidding war is heating up. The battle for Hollywood is heating up. The mergers and acquisitions is heating up. And I want to break down what this means because this kind of throws a wrench into everything. And allows me to cover some things I missed in the first time around. So Paramount gate crashes Warner Bros. Netflix deal with a $108 billion hostile bid of their own. Now, hostile, by the way, if you're wondering what that means, why is it hostile? Well, it's hostile because Warner Brothers already picked Netflix. Okay, the board of Warner Brothers had all the offers and they said, we're going to go with Netflix. And then Paramount is going to the public. It's basically hostile as they're saying, we're going to pay any shareholder of this company more per share to give us your shares so they can try to get a majority of it and move it in their direction. Basically, they want the shareholders to vote and ignore the board and go to Paramount. So it's a hostile thing. We're here to finish what we started. We put the company in play. So this is David Ellison that said that he owns Paramount. And I want to give you a little background here. David Ellison is this guy with a very punchable face. He is the son of the world's second richest man, Larry Ellison, a friend of Trump and the owner of Oracle. Okay? At one point during this year, Larry Ellison here was the richest man in the world. He passed Elon Musk, largely because of Oracle stock spiking, because of that round-tripping OpenAI NVIDIA stuff. So he's got his fingers in a lot of pies, bro. But his son is involved in this battle here. Okay? So here are the two offers. $82.7 billion from Netflix, $108.4 billion from Paramount. Couple key things. This offer is cash plus stock. So you get Netflix stock. And this offer is all cash. All cash, baby. Direct, all cash. So why would the shareholders pick this one? Why is the Netflix board, the Warner Bros. Board currently picking this one and not this one? Let's go into it. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, one thing I didn't mention last time is that Warner Bros. Discovery, if you don't know, is a fucking Katamari ball of crap. It is a amalgam. It is a mush. It is a giant slime of a million different things. There is so much crap in here. There are so many different networks and studios and properties and IP and game studios, and it's all under this Warner Bros. Discovery umbrella. And one thing that's unique about Netflix's offer is they aren't trying to buy all of it. Netflix said, take all that, cut it in half. We only want this part. Netflix said, we'll give you $82.7 billion, and all we want is HBO, New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers Studios, DC, Harry Potter. We want the good part. The part over here, the part on this side, the part that has like Discovery and TNT and Cartoon Network and TBS and Food and CNN and Adult Swim, and we don't want any of that crap. Also, a lot of debt. They don't want all that. They don't want the debt and the crap and the sports and they just want the high quality IP and the HBO and the Wire and the Game of Thrones. They basically want what Netflix might want. What's going to fill out the Netflix backlog? You know what they really want is Friends. Friends. Basically, Netflix's goal is to kind of recreate cable. They want to get all the content on there so they can charge you $50, $70. And it's just the one-stop shop. We had cable, we had all these streaming services, now we're going back to cable. Netflix just wants to put all the good shows on one channel. You full circle back to that. That's what they want. By the way, we all want Friends. Is a very funny chat message. Okay? So they don't want this crap. This is what they want. Netflix only wants this. Under Netflix's plan, this stuff would go with them, and this stuff would be its own new company called Discovery Global. this company is going to be fucking doomed. This company has like nothing of value and a ton of debt. This company's going to be in the shitter, but it's going to exist. It has the rights to NASCAR, by the way, the TV rights to NASCAR. It'll have some stuff. I mean, it's going to have a lot of debt, but maybe they can figure it out. But it'll be its own thing. So Netflix only wants this. Paramount, which is offering a much more money, wants all of it. They want the whole pie. They want everything. In fact, CNN is a big part of why they might want it. Paramount wants everything. That's a bit why they're charging more. But one of the first questions you might have if you follow these companies or this industry at all is like, hey, $108.4 billion is a lot of money. That makes it one of the biggest acquisitions ever done in human history. $184 billion, that's a lot of money. Isn't Paramount like way too small for that? Isn't Paramount like absolutely not able to afford this? Because Paramount as an entire company is worth $15 billion. Like the whole fucking company. Paramount Skydance Incorporated is worth $50 million. So where are they getting $108 billion to buy Warner Brothers, a much bigger company? Well, it turns out there's three major sources of that money that they don't have. Number one is daddy's money. Some part of it comes from old Peepaw, okay? He might have pitched in to help his son get over the line. Number two is Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. Jared Kushner is helping organize funds raised for this takeover. And number three is the Saudis. Actually, a couple, not even just the Saudis, a couple Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds. So this money is partnering with Paramount, who doesn't have a lot, to give them the $108 billion to outbid Netflix. Okay? It's kind of a nightmare blunt rotation. Kushner, Gulf money, and desperate texts inside Paramount's hostile bid for Warner Brothers. This is like they basically saw Netflix's offer and like put together a who's who of the worst global blunt rotation to get $100 billion quick. They were like frantically texting everybody who could get money together to try and pull together a bigger offer quickly, which is what they did to put out this $108 billion offer. So again, though, at the end of the day, where the money comes from doesn't really matter to the Warner Brothers shareholders. If I own 10 shares of Warner Brothers, do I want to get paid $27 a share in a little bit of cash, some stock? Or do I want to get paid like $30 a share in cash right now? I just want the money. At the end of the day, these guys aren't fucking heroes. They just own Warner Brothers stock. Do they not just want more money? Here's the reason they might not be taking this. This is why they picked this offer and not this one. First of all, when asked about it, they said, look, we're worried. They basically want to pick the deal that's most likely to go through. And they're worried that if they pick this deal, the Middle East money would invite national security scrutiny. The idea that, hey, like, is the government going to block this if it's allowing the Middle East to have total control over one of America's biggest studios? I don't know. They're worried about that. So they'd rather take the money that's more guaranteed. Additionally, they are worried that, the financing might fall through and the deal might not close in the terms required. So they're looking for a rock solid guarantee, and they think Netflix offers that to them more than Paramount. But Paramount shareholders might still say, look, man, I want the more money. And if they vote for this offer, it'll go for this offer. That's still, the vote is coming up, but they could override this. Additionally, Netflix, I mentioned this before, but Netflix put in a guarantee. They said, basically, if you choose us and the deal doesn't go through for any reason, we'll pay you $6 billion as a breakup fee just because, which is pretty fucking confident because that's a lot of money. So Netflix is putting a lot on the line to determine they can get it through. Now, is there risk with that? Yes. The risk is Donald Trump. The risk is Donald Trump because Donald Trump today said, look, the Netflix deal to buy Warner Brothers, well, that could be a problem because of market share and such. They could have too much market share. Now, I've never known Donald Trump to give a fuck about monopoly or market share, but all of a sudden he's like, well, we don't know. We don't know if we don't want Netflix to have too much market share. So he might be getting involved. And why would Trump be getting involved? Why would he care about this particular thing? Because when they asked him about it, a day after this quote, he said, look, I don't know anything about the deal. I don't even know anything about it. And then when they asked him a day after that, he said, I know the companies very well. I know what they're doing. Actually, this wasn't even a day later. This was the same day. This was the same day. These two quotes are the same day. Okay? So why does he care? His opinion is very important. He has like near total control of the government, and he can allow certain things or certain deals to go through. This is going to need government approval. Netflix is super confident they can get the deal through, $6 billion, because Ted Sarandos, the CEO of Netflix, met with Trump. He pitched him on the deal. Trump came out of the meeting and said, Ted Sarandos is a great guy. He's great for Hollywood. He's good American. That's what Trump said. So Ted thinks, okay, this is going through. I'm confident. But in recent days, Trump has been shifting his opinion. He's been kind of backing out. He's been kind of saying, well, this Netflix thing could be a problem, which is shaky. And why is he doing that? And I want to explain. It is because the Ellisons are like the new Murdoch family. They're a new media dynasty shaking up the United States. This guy right here wants to be a media tycoon. Let's walk through it, okay? Donald Trump is friends with Larry Ellison, who owns Oracle, which is one of the biggest parts of the current AI boom / bubble, whatever you want to call it. Oracle, one of the biggest companies behind it, which might be getting, on its own, this might be getting government backstops. this might get government bailouts, by the way, coming down the line. But okay, this is the thing. Larry Ellison, his son David Ellison, owns a small media company called Skydance. Not that big, not that powerful. How does he suddenly become a major player? He raises $400 million from who? From his daddy. David Ellison raises $400 million from his own dad and turns Skydance into a major player, which then buys Paramount. So now it's Paramount Skydance, owned by David, who is under the thumb of his father, Larry. Okay? And as part of this deal, where Skydance is allowed to buy Paramount, they have to settle a 60 Minutes lawsuit. That basically was Trump suing 60 Minutes for saying they made Kamala Harris look too good. They edited her interview to look too good. So as part of this deal, the government's like, no, you can't buy it until you've solved that problem. And all of a sudden, Paramount pays Trump $16 million. Okay. And they agree to never be biased. Okay, we're going to stop being biased at CBS. So after they do that, Trump allows this deal to go through. All of a sudden, this merger's allowed. So it's kind of like the merger's blocked unless it makes a major news org be more pro-Trump. So now all of a sudden, what do we have? We have Skydance owning Paramount, which owns CBS News and MTV and Comedy Central. And all of these things are now being nicer towards Trump. A nice virtuous cycle. Okay? Then, what else though? What else? So additionally, what's the next major steps? Because now that Trump's been benefited here, all of a sudden you're noticing a couple things. Number one, TikTok and now Warner Brothers seem to be heading towards possibly being here. TikTok to Oracle and Warner Brothers possibly to Paramount, which would allow this family to have massive media control. They would own CBS News. They would own CNN. They would own HBO. They would own TikTok, TikTok US. Okay? And they would all be under this very rich family that's friends with Trump. You can see how this is the beginnings of a media empire, and he's using his government power to help make that happen. So, back to this deal. I am a person who in the last video talked about how much I don't want Netflix to get this deal. And it's crazy, the year 2025, where I have to choose between lesser of two evils, where now I'm kind of like, I guess I have to support this? Because the alternative is like an openly, nakedly corrupt takeover as part of like a clearly partisan media empire. It's like ideally neither of these happen. These are both bad for competition, for the streaming market, for for media. Like they're both bad. But of the two, I'm actually more supportive of Netflix because all they want is money. All Netflix wants is to charge you more for Netflix. That's like I can just pirate things. At the end of the day, I can just pirate Friends. But if this happens, it's like another media arm controlled by a government that's like very partisan. So look, zooming out a bit. Paramount owns a lot of things you might know. A lot of famous movies and franchises. They own SpongeBob. They own fucking MTV and Yeah, they have Young Sheldon. Okay? Paramount has a lot of IP. And if they were to merge with HBO Max, it would be a pretty big powerhouse in streaming. But it wouldn't be that big. It wouldn't be, it's like the number, I think Paramount's probably like the 5th biggest streamer, and HBO's like the 3rd or 4th. So if they merged up, they wouldn't be as big as Netflix still, and it wouldn't be super bad for competitive dynamics. But this part would be bad. On the other hand, Netflix owns a massive library of content and is by far the biggest streamer. Okay? If Netflix, the number 1, were to be allowed to merge with the number 4, that is so openly anti-competitive. That's like day one antitrust stuff. Like under any normal antitrust administration, they would not allow the biggest competitor in the market to buy one of its biggest challengers because that just freezes out the market, makes one superpower that can charge whatever the fuck they want. It's just like essentially closer to a monopoly. Okay? Both of these have downsides, and ideally both would get blocked. But of the two, I guess I'm a little bit partial to the Netflix one. Now, the stocks of both of these companies have done poorly, actually, because it's looking like there might be a bidding war. And the one thing the market hates is a bidding war because it means both these companies are going to lose. They're going to jack up the price for what is actually a pretty shitty company, Warner Bros. Discovery. So there's a bidding war. But Netflix is much bigger. Netflix stock way down on this news. People don't want them to have to outbid $100 billion. The only winner so far is Warner Brothers, whose stock is soaring because this nearly dead company, saddled with debt and bad management, is about to get a bailout Activision Blizzard style. Okay, they're doing quite well. And in fact, if you want to buy $30 for $27, if you think the Paramount merger will happen, if you think this one's going to happen, the bottom one, well, this is $30 a share cash. So if you think this is going to happen, you can buy a share for $27 today and get $30 in January. Like, theoretically, if you think it's going to happen, that's a guaranteed $3 profit. The market doesn't know yet, and so it's bouncing around the Netflix number. But if you thought that it was going to go higher, then that's what's going to happen. People are losing, though. People who are not Warner Bros. Shareholders are losing. Whether it's higher prices in the future, whether it's a more consolidated media partisan environment, or whether it's people on my Reddit who had an internship application at Warner Bros. Discovery and then found out it was canceled. The role was canceled because they no longer care about hiring people because they're just selling out the company. Okay? That is the downside. So at the end of the day, if I want to sum it all up, I want to give you an update on what's going on. My summation here is that I really fucking wish Lena Khan was back. Antitrust is important, bro. It benefits you and me and everyone by making a more competitive, fair environment. It's great. One key theme of my content is that I hope you care about it and fight for it. It's one of the best single things a government can do to make your life better. We miss you, Lena. Thanks for watching. Okay, that's my update. Hope you enjoyed. That'll be up on the Clips channel tonight. We're doing a quick turnaround. Boop, 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 boop. What's this? New offer? This is The Onion still got it, bro. Plex submits a $35 bid for Warner Brothers. That's good. Fucking take it, bro. Just fucking just take it, bro. Solved. You got a lowball him. Let's go art of the deal. The art of the deal. Bro, thank you, Grok, by the way. See on the right here? Thank you, Grok. The Onion satirical article humorously depicts Plex, a media server app known for personal libraries, submitting a $35 installment-based bid to acquire Warner Brothers. Mocking the inflated... Just explaining the joke for 3 paragraphs. This exaggeration contrasts Plex's free ad-supported catalog of... I'm so glad, dude. People who frequent... what's the subreddit where they ask Peter Griffin to explain the joke? What's that subreddit called? Ask Peter. Explain it, Peter. That subreddit viewers love Grok. People who might have had parents that loved avoiding headaches love Grok, bro. WB owes $2.8 billion to Netflix if they take the Paramount deal. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm sure the Ellisons would cover that. As far as I know, Larry Ellison said, that's not even our final offer. We can go higher. He's a bad negotiator. Or David Ellison. My understanding is they said, look, $108 billion cash, and it's not even our final offer. If we want to negotiate, we can go higher. So I think they really fucking want it. But it's just crazy because it's not even worth that much, bro. It's so wild. They're gonna mismanage the It's like the Saudis that bought EA, bro. They're gonna lose money. They paid way more than it's worth. They're gonna try to milk it, and then it's just ridiculous. It's a disaster. There's like a whole book. This book is Where is it? Whatever. I'm not going to read it. Anyway, it's called Barbarians at the Gates. And it's about how this tobacco company, RJR, bought Nabisco crackers and spent vastly more than it was worth as part of this insane back and forth, ego-driven, fucking chest beating, macho. And how it went disaster. It was a disaster. Bidding war. Did it work? Yeah, they became RJR Nabisco. It didn't work in that it was profitable. It was a big disaster. They had problems for generations off that. Heika, thank you for the 13 gifted subs. Appreciate that. What an interesting number. Will it bankrupt Skydance? I don't know if it would bankrupt them, but they'd be saddled with debt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're a $15 billion company taking out a $100 billion loan. They would just have to pay insane premiums on that debt. So they'd have to be so profitable to overcome the interest payments on that debt. But, their daddy's the second richest man in the world, so they can backstop it. Do you think she has a good point? What is this?
A few weeks ago, at the start of the shutdown,
You link me an 8-minute video and say, do you think she has a good point? I'm not gonna. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it, bro. I thought you were gonna link me a goddamn tweet. It's like a fucking. This got no. There's not any views or anything. This is just a person talking, TikTok style. She got the TikTok mic for 8 minutes. I'm not gonna watch that. Have Grok summarize it. Let me actually see. Is there a summary? Let me see, bro. Long form vertical video TikTok. I just can't. I'm not gonna watch an 8-minute TikTok, bro. Before my girlfriend left Paramount in September, we went on a studio tour and visited the gift shop. When my girlfriend showed her employee badge for an employee discount, she told the cashier she was leaving, and she said, "Oh my God, congrats." Just happy to get out. Star Wars Knights of the Republic remake is in development. Oh, it's back? Wait, that's Pog. I thought it was canceled. That's cool. I want my childhood to be sold back to me. Pog. I will buy it. I'm not kidding. I will buy it and I'll play it. So, but I do like it. I do like it. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. So I did a live marketing Monday. Maybe you saw it. Maybe you didn't. It was about product placement and the future of product placement. And then today I see that Grok did like a hackathon of new ideas for Grok. And they dropped this. They said, watching ads suck. Introducing halftime. See if you can spot the subtle product placement that Grok is seamlessly integrating into your favorite shows.
Trivia, the lightning round. Go. Pulitzer Prizes. 46. Nobel Peace Prizes.
See if you can spot it.
Jessica, what are you doing here?
Eating.
I was just...
I know that's not.
Yeah.
It just disappeared. That's the idea, is that they use Grok AI to generate new frames of your favorite show where the characters with like AI face, it doesn't even have, it's AI text. It's not even real text. Hold up a fucking product straight to camera, stop what they're saying, and then go back to the content.
Yeah.
Let me give you another example. Let's show you Friends. Everyone loves Friends. Zoomers love Friends.
So I told Carl nobody, no matter how famous their parents are, nobody is allowed to climb on the dinosaur. But of course, this went...
But he's a boxer and has...
So Joey and Phoebe are talking,
And has...
and then halfway through, he pauses his sentence. His face becomes AI slop. He picks up headphones that won't release for another 20 years in his universe, puts them on, and then it cuts right back. Holy fuck. How incredible, dude. Thank you, Grok. Thank you, Grok. What an incredible seamless product placement of the future. I wish this existed for my presentation. This is awesome. That was awesome, dude. All the way. It's literally called X videos. Literally called X videos. Oh, marketing and branding gods over there at Elon Musk's fucking hell factory. Wow. Wow. Grok has saved the world. And then one other piece of news I wanted to cover with you guys is that you guys know how it kind of sucks getting reliable data from your government. Ugh, yuck. Who needs a GDP report or an employment report, or in this case, an inflation report, which has been canceled? I said Jesus Christ and got 4.2K likes. And Amy Nixon said canceling the report doesn't cancel the inflation. I don't like that as well. It's, we did have a shutdown, and that's why we canceled the first jobs report and the first GDP report, but now we're still canceling. I just think we kind of need to fucking get the data. And my understanding is they've flip-flopped a bit on whether or not they're going to release it, which means they probably do have it, but it's not good. And it's fucking crazy to pretend like you got Trump out there saying affordability is a hoax. I think I have a clip. You got Trump saying affordability is a hoax. Here it is.
It's a con job. I think affordability is the greatest con job. They look at you and they say, affordability. They don't say anything else. Everyone says, oh, their prices were so low. No, they had the worst inflation. It's a con job.
Affordability is the greatest con job. It's the idea that he's going to run on everything is great and this is all a hoax to make you think about your grocery prices, which are actually going down, and gas prices. It's such a losing strategy, whether or not they release the numbers. Whether or not they release the official numbers or they cook them up, everybody fucking knows, bro. I know, again, like I've said, I know people have made a lot of bad bets that this time Trump's cooked. I swear to God, dude, affordability is going to take him down. It's fraying the whole MAGA base. It's fraying the whole coalition. Affordability's fucking crushing him. He's getting cooked. I'm not saying they're going to pivot to fucking Democrats. They might go anywhere. They might go to fucking Nick Fuentes, but they're turning on him, bro. Did you see this? What's this? What is this?
Should resign over the fraud scandal in his state.
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched JD destroy him in the debate. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent. And
What? They were both incompetent?
he had a man.
Wait, did I get a small ant raid? Holy, no politics, guys. Speedrunning. Guys, speedrunning. Chat, be cool. Small ant raiders, welcome. We're doing speedrunning fucking Mondays. Okay, we don't do fucking politics here. That's lame. We talk about speedrunning, and we talk about moving fast, and we talk about changing the paradigm, and we talk about making games go quick, okay? It's speedrunning Mondays. And basically, we talk about our favorite games to speedrun. I personally like to say it's a tie between all of them because I think speedrunning is a fucking way of life. We watch a lot of Summoning Salt. Yeah, we do that. Ooh, I do want to say, wait, honestly, on God, real story. I got to pitch an idea. Basically, if you guys don't know, I've kind of said this year that I'm kind of done with Hitman. Outside of a few little things with Linkus and Spectacore, I said I'm not doing the contract the contract competition this year. However, I was able to get a call with the developers of Hitman, IOI, and I had sort of this kind of dream idea and I pitched it to them, and they seem very interested. I can't say more than that, but I might do. It might not be over. It might not be over, the old Atrioc Hitman arc. It might be something else. By the way, additionally, IOI has announced that they are, after James Bond, making Hitman 4. This is separately from what I'm talking about, but that's pretty sick too. So, you know, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm stoked on that. Sean, about thinking of the 58 months. So that's pretty cool if you're interested in gaming. What did Small Ant play today? Let me look it up. What has Small Ant been on? What's the wave that Small Ant's been on? I never know what Small Ant's up to because I don't get to watch many streams. I just see his YouTube videos, and it's usually him doing like the most insane 9-year Pokemon challenge. He's like, I did Pokemon, but every step in the game I have to walk a mile in real life or some horseshit like that. And it's like, well, he did daily games. Oh, he's on a daily game kick. Well, I love that. Fist drop, thank you for the gifties. I do think it would be interesting. Wait, hear me out. What if you recreated Kanto from Pokemon Red and Blue? No, I'm sorry. You have to play Red and Blue, but you're hooked up to a treadmill, and you can only walk in game when you walk in real life. So you have to actually walk the entire length of Kanto. Would that be a fire video? And when you get the bike, you have to jump on a Peloton. So you have to, wouldn't that be fucking sick? Boring? I think that'd be sick, dude. That's just Pokemon Go? No, dude. Pokemon Go. Guys, if you love Pokemon Go, I think it's awesome and I really respect you. Can you cover your ears real quick so I can tell everybody how great you are? If you love Pokemon Go, cover your ears because I think it's really cool. Cover them. Pokemon Go fucking sucks. Pokemon Go is so lame, dude. It's so lame. Why are people still playing this fucking game? It's just this fucking stupid, money-hungry. People say exercise. Nobody even exercises anymore. It was fun when everyone did it because it was like about the social interaction. But now people like go asocially to try and like, dude, Travis Gafford, I'm putting him on blast. He showed me his phone. He's like, yeah, I drove out to this spot and I farmed 87 Dragonairs or whatever for this rare event. Yeah, I forget what Pokemon it was, but he had 87 of them. He was just scrolling through his fucking field. It was the same Pokemon 100 times. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? And then for like anything you want, there's somebody who's rich who just gives it out online. There's no like, it's crazy. And all you're doing is adding to a collection that nobody cares about. The idea before was that you'd meet someone in person and be like, hey, what's up? Like, I remember peak Pokemon Go the first couple weeks. I was in San Francisco, heart of fucking Silicon Valley. And at the Twitch office, someone would run down the hall and be like, there's a Blastoise in the break room. And then people would run out of their meetings. They would leave their meetings and all run towards, and it was like the coolest fucking, it was like a real cultural, and now what's the point, dude? Now what's the point? Nobody does that anymore. Oh my God, everyone's nostalgia baiting. Oh, 2016? Those were the good years. Before the dark times came for us. It's just so funny because if you go back to 2016, everyone there was like, God, things used to be better in 2012. And if you go to 2012, people are like, things were so much better before the Great Recession. Like in 2006, that's when life was fucking good. And you go to 2006, everyone's like, things were so much better in the 90s, before the millennium. Now, one thing I'll say, and I gotta be fucking for real here. 2020, that is a break point. I'm sorry, but it is. 2020, it is worse. Yikes. Yikes, but true, bro. After COVID, shit done been going. I think before then, I think it's all kind of like whatever. It's when you grew up, it's your childhood, it's whatever. I think it's vibes. I think after COVID, it is low key like everything broke. I think the social contract just broke after COVID and no one cares. No one's paying into the system. Everyone's trying to extract. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, bro? First night in my new apartment and I hear my neighbors screaming at each other. Am I cooked? I guess it depends on how late they go, but sometimes it's kind of fun to lay there and then try to hear someone else's drama. You ever been like overhearing people screaming in a fight and you're like trying to get little bits and pieces of like, what's going on? You kind of pick a side. It's funny. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, bro. It's a little bit of tea and there's no like connection to you, so there's no pain. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just like pure delivered drama. A little tea to your door. You know what you should do is once the fight settles down a bit, you should pick a side and then go introduce yourself to the other side and try to stir it up again. You should go stir it up again. She'd be like, damn, I couldn't help it over here a bit. And I was like, you were so right. You were so right. Like, he didn't get you at all. He wasn't even understanding your point. Honestly, it was just cause a little ruckus, you know? Just cause a little ruckus. Just try to fucking... get a little devious. My Zillennial coworker was telling me about the Gen Z stare today. Isn't it the millennials? Oh, it's the Gen Z stare and the millennial pause. I still do the millennial pause. Bro, every offline video that I've ever recorded that I send to my editors, it always opens with me like, okay, so I always got to make sure everything's on, dude. I don't just start recording. I always got to make sure that everything's fucking... You got to do that little pause so you know that it's recording. I can't... The Zoomers where they just click the button and go is crazy. Even when I phone call someone, if I like video chat someone, it's always like we have 2 seconds of just like making sure it works. And then we start talking. It's very millennial. It's because when we grew up, dude, there was always internet issues. There was always something. It didn't work right. You have to fucking... You always had to make it work. Usually I hit him with a long high to make sure things ain't cutting you out. There you go. This Duke of Burgers gets it. What's the generation that picks up the phone and waits for the caller to say hello? I've never heard of that. That must be Gen Z. That's crazy. Because Gen Z doesn't pick up the phone. Gen Z wouldn't even answer the phone. That can't be Gen Z. I don't know who the fuck that is. Gen Z doesn't... I guess if they were forced to, but... It's a mask thing. Everyone but Zoomers will look at you and offer a smile or something, but Zoomers just stare. No, I know what the Gen Z stare is, bro. The Gen Z stare, it's not... Dude, I swear to God, it's worse with Gen Alpha. Yikes. I hate to punch down on this one, but it's like your brain is kind of off, low key. It's like you're low power. That's what it is. It's like your brain is like in power saving mode. It's like you can't, it's like it's too much effort to like emote or move your face or react to what's going on. There's too much stimulus. So you're like in your own mind and your brain is just, it's fucking freaky. Honestly, it's freaky. And it happens with young kids too. It happens with Gen Alpha. It's like eco mode. That's exactly what it is, dude. And Gen Z does it too, but only, yeah, like at jobs and stuff. So call me the 23 months. Thank you for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Low battery, kids. Why are you saying kids if you think you're not one of them? Like, are you either an old person acting weird with your slang, or are you a young person who's self-hating? Either way is a bad. Caught? Caught on both? Type shit. Type shit, I fear. Type shit, bro. That shit is type shit. Anyway, I got a full charge today. What you guys don't understand is I've been charged up. I knew that if I slept good, I would have more energy. Fucking crazy revelation. And I was right. I'm high power, bro. I'm high power. HP. You can see it in HD. What's the fucking Kendrick track? High power HP. In your head like HK. I don't remember the fucking lyric. Whatever. Any hoots. Hope you all been doing well. We're doing dispatch tomorrow. Big A, I moved to Mexico and got robbed of everything I own. And now I'm facing 3 felonies from the guy who robbed me. I'm sorry to hear that. That is a tough situation. You know what you know what's gonna help you though? Believe me, as a Twitch streamer, I've realized that I have the power to heal as well as hurt. Chat, can you please at Barry Daniel and give him a heart? There we go. We've saved him. The power of collective hearts. This is going to heal. Okay? This will not bring back your lost money, nor stop your felonies. But these hearts are going to they're going to break through. I did want to watch, if you guys don't mind. There's a Hoser video called The Complete and Utter Collapse of Sudan. This video has 1.1 million views in 8 days and looks very interesting. And I haven't seen it, and I thought I'd watch it with chat. So I think I'm gonna click it, if you don't mind.
It's a bit of,
but warning, it's probably very serious. It's probably very serious, just to be real. It's probably, but I have been semi-watching the insane tragedy of what's happening in Sudan. And Aiden has been reading into it a lot, and he covered it on Lemonade Stand, and it's like, it's such a gargantuan amount of people either starved or killed. So I did want to understand kind of what's happening. I don't have a big idea of the geopolitical situation or who the different groups are or what's going on. So
of a cliche to say, why doesn't the mainstream media care about this country or that war?
True.
But if there is any truly ignored war on Earth, it's the one going on in Sudan now.
True.
Since 2023, Sudan has been suffering from complete state breakdown, and owing to its massive population of...
By the way, a little level setting here is I'm considering going to Sudan with Aiden to meet someone he only met online to give us a tour of dangerous areas. So this video will either convince me or not to do it. Okay? We're actually considering this. And I need to understand, maybe at the end I'll say no, but...
Over 50 million people, making the current crisis not just the making of another failed state, but the largest humanitarian crisis on Earth. In 2025, it was the country with the highest number of people facing famine, of internal refugees, and the most mass death. Beating out, not to use another cliche, these wars you might be a little more familiar with.
Sure.
To fully understand the crisis, you need to understand how Sudan got to this point. But
Which I
first,
don't.
let me just try to share how awful Sudan's civil war is in under 6 minutes.
I will say I thought he was going to build a sponsor break, and I was like, this would be not a good time for a sponsor. I would say but first, and then doing a Rocket Money ad or something is not appropriate for it. I think a video like this should probably have no plug. That's my opinion.
The chain of events started when longtime dictator Omar al-Bashir was ousted after months of popular protests, triggered by economic collapse. Weighing into pressure, the armies called into the capital to defend him instead turned on him in April of 2019. They forced him out, giving the military power for a few months to go through a transitional phase.
By the way, not this couldn't still happen, but this type of shit is what I was worried about in Nepal. And that's why I thought the military's response in Nepal was so incredibly based. The fact that they did everything possible to not take power when they could have is crazy. But I figured, like most situations where there's a collapse and a uprising from economic problems, usually the military seizes power in like a coup, and that didn't happen in Nepal. Obviously, it happened here.
Two military sects held power together, the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary and business empire which grew out of the Arab supremacist Janjaweed militia, which, by the way, translates in English to devils on horseback. The SAF was headed by Abdel al-Burhan, while the RSF was led by General Hamdam Dagalo, better known as Hemedti, also known to al-Bashir as my protector. His career has been made through helping the Sudanese government crush rebels, controlling Sudan's gold exports, and sucking up to the president. After the transitional government,
I hate to watch anything negative about what's going on in Africa because it always mentions gold in a bad light. And I just want to buy my gold in peace, please. I just want to stack my gold like a dragon. I don't want to hear about where it came from.
Two men which ran these militaries, big surprise, vied for control of the country against each other, rapidly degenerating Sudan into a civil war which broke out in April 2023. The main disparity was over the creation of a joint army. Al-Burhan wanted it done by 2 years, while Hemedti wanted it done by 10. Naturally, they started shooting at each other to solve this debate.
That's a civil war
Now
worthy
the SAF
debate?
controls the east, Nile River, and coastline, posturing itself as the true government, while the RSF controls the west, including a region known as Darfur, launching a campaign for either total control of the country or to separate as its own state. The details aren't really hashed out yet. The subsequent fighting has torn the social fabric of Sudan apart. At least 500,000 have died, with 15 million displaced, overwhelming refugee camps, and 25 million suffering from hunger as farms and food stockpiles are deliberately burned. In a country made up of 40% children, 90% of them are out of school.
That's insane.
This is total collapse. Sudan has seen many civil wars in its history, but none reaching into its major cities. This time around, Sudan's capital and cultural center, the Tri-City area of Khartoum, has seen clashes and airstrikes, so much so that Al-Burhan has had to flee to Port Sudan. When fighting couldn't be done between these groups, the armies switched to civilians, indiscriminately bombing hospitals, schools, markets, and residential areas. Much of the fighting, though, is centered around Darfur, a notoriously arid land which has traditionally been Sudan's poorest region. There, the RSF has won victory.
Hasn't there been mass death, I don't know a better way, in Darfur, like, for decades before this? I feel like this is like in 2004. 2003! My God, it's been in a state of humanitarian emergency and genocide since 2003. I legitimately remember this from 2004. People had Darfur t-shirts, which I guess didn't do anything. I remember people wearing that fucking shit in 2004, and it did not stop this shit. God damn.
After victory, receiving aid through a corridor it captured to East Libya. Sudan has had a troubled history of race relations. Many elites have declared Sudan an officially Arab Islamic country, sparking decades of unrest and conflict between them and the darker-skinned, mainly Christian people of the South, culminating in South Sudan's secession in 2011.
So what's
More
a race
recently,
war?
though, has been the government's and RSF's fight against
A civil war, a race war, and a religious war at the same time. There's like governmental differences, religious difference, and racial
the
differences.
non-Arab inhabitants of Darfur,
That's
a
a
place
combo.
literally meaning home of the Fur. This is an ethnically mixed region of Fur, Masalit, and Zagawa peoples.
Easy for you to solve, boss. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry to laugh, but you saying that makes me think of how insane it would be for me and Aiden to stroll up in there, white savior style, and try to fucking, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Lemonade stand's going to gonna cook up a solution. We're going to patch this up real quick. It's like fucking Last Samurai style shit.
Along with many nomadic Arab tribes, many of which moved in the 1980s. Tension in the region over land rights, along with approval from the Bashir regime, culminated in a genocide of the native Africans by Janjaweed forces in the 2000s. A scenario that, since the most recent breakout of war, has started again. Capturing Al-Fashir, which was a regional hub for the displaced people of Darfur, would mark a huge victory for the RSF. For 18 months, they sieged the city, cutting food and medical supplies,
Jesus
building
Christ.
a wall of dirt around the city, and shooting anybody who tried to escape.
Jesus Christ.
On October 27th,
That is fucking medieval. An 18-month siege with a dirt wall in the year 2025 is insane.
2025, they finally captured it,
It's like-
starting
that
what
is
would become the
post-apocalyptic or
bloodiest
medieval,
few
whatever you
weeks
think.
of the year. The mostly Arab soldiers went through the city, systematically torturing and killing all inhabitants over the age of 10.
Jesus Christ.
This is a group whose members call for the extermination of all black skins from Darfur, shouting that women will soon have Arab babies, and who've posted these atrocities all over social media. It is an attempted
I don't necessarily need Vine booms on that. I don't necessarily. This is a good video thus far, and I respect that you've put this together because people aren't covering it. You don't necessarily have to include the cat react Vine boom.
ethnic cleansing of Darfur. Tens of thousands died with its capture, a fact only known because of the piles of bodies seen from satellite imagery. In a city of this
Horrifying,
size,
man.
that means at least a tenth were killed within weeks of its capture, a speed of mass death not seen in the modern world since the Rwandan genocide. Now, it is in all honesty more likely than not Sudan will collapse. At
Yeah.
least it will collapse
This is
in its
collapse.
current form, with the West either formally seceding like South Sudan or creating a shadow government that basically acts as its own country without going through the increasingly useless motions of trying to become a UN member state.
Right.
How could a country get so bad to the point where nobody has the power to stop what will likely go down as one of the worst mass killings of this decade?
Yeah, I'd love to know. I don't know.
Modern Sudanese history has been a cycle of military rulers, people getting tired of them and their despotism, overthrowing them in popular riots, only to end up with another military ruler.
Right.
This has happened for 3 cycles, making up 52 of the almost 70 years of independent history. These chunks were the rules of Ibrahim Aboud, Jafar Namiri, and Omar al-Bashir, respectively. each with a couple guys after them in the transition phase to the next military government. Sudan's current crisis is over who gets to lead the fourth.
Right.
The first two dictators basically had the same trajectories. They both came to power through a coup, led a government based on military over civilian rule, centralizing that rule around their personality and brutally put down rebellions and protests. General Ibrahim Aboud was part of the Islamist coalition, while Colonel Jafar Namiri led the leftist one. Instead of tribal governments, to both of these guys, progress was...
Just in general, because this might happen in our lifetimes. Military-based cults of personality type leadership usually end poorly. So please God, no matter how appealing it sounds or how bad your current situation seems, it's not going to be a good outcome. Okay? Just
going to come through the Islamization of Sudan. As a result, the defining political problem for most of Sudanese history was what to do with the South. Christianity was a pre-colonial religion of the people who...
We just need one strong guy to come in and clean it all up. You know what? When you put it like that, what if it was some sort of strong man? And we give him all the power and he can just fix all the problems that we're angry about. That's actually a pretty good idea. That actually might fucking work.
Who lived here, and the mountainous and jungly land of the region prevented large-scale Arab or Islamic migrations.
Someone said or woman. It's like, hey, I'm pro-military authoritarianism, but I will not support sexism. I don't mind if I'm crushed under the boot of a guy or a girl, okay? We can have a girl boss. She just needs to fucking crack down on the infidels.
Primary solution the northerner elites thought of was to integrate it into a larger Islamic Sudan. The first constitution of the country already sowed divide when it was written for an explicitly Arab-Muslim nation. Both then tried to Islamize the South, and both faced organized military backlashes in two different civil wars. What's ironic is that part of the reason Aboud was ousted was because of fatigue the war brought, and part of the reason Namiri came to power was because he negotiated the end of that first war.
Okay.
Namiri then went back on that and did what the Islamist coalition couldn't do,
back on that.
Create an officially Islamic Sudan, and he did it overnight. Enforcing Sharia with one presidential decree, again seeing...
Where he actually did Sharia law? I've seen so much Sharia law in New York under Mamdani that I didn't know that it was actually a real thing. I didn't know anyone actually did it. Oh, this is New York next year. No difference. Okay, might as well be ready for it.
Organized resistance from the South. So for the first 5 or so decades of independent Sudanese history, the defining motivating force of the military governments was to keep the South in the country through mostly violent means, killings and burning villages.
I gotta be honest with you, at this point in the video, I am having doubts on going to visit Sudan right now. This shit is all from 2025, bro. This is not a realistic outcome. Although the way the guy pitched it to us, to me and Aiden, was that there's like a safe zone. There's like a third group that isn't part of these two groups that has like its own little...
The waves of war would kill and expel millions. Mass killings, which would be history defining for most other countries, were just a part of the long history of these wars.
Jesus.
What didn't help the peace was the discovery of oil in the South, which would represent a great help to the cotton-dependent nation. The national refinery to process it would be built near Khartoum, rather than in this...
Let me tell you something. If you have a politically unstable country, it's like if you have a bad marriage. The one thing you need to add to fix it, in this case, is oil, and in a marriage case, is a child. Just have kids. if you aren't having a good relationship, just have kids. And if you aren't having a good country, just find oil. It'll fix all your problems. It'll completely paper over it. It's perfect. Okay, it works every time.
South where it was originally planned for, and the main port to export in Port Sudan. So to get it here, a pipeline would have to be built across the
drank
country,
their
keeping the
milkshake?
South dependent on the North for economic growth, of which it saw almost none, since no oil was exported until the 2000s.
Why do you think having oil is a problem? There's an economic phenomenon known as Dutch disease, where if you have a natural resource like oil that is so incredibly profitable in your country, your entire economy reorients around that only disease, and everything else you become uncompetitive in. You fall off. Additionally, because oil is a very profitable commodity that you don't have to do much for, you can sort of just extract and ship around the world. It often allows deeply authoritarian regimes to fund their oppression exclusively through oil. All they have to do is control the oil, and they can sell it globally and make an absolute fucking mint, which allows them to prop up a few social programs to keep people from openly revolting, and a military that allows them to control their citizens. Whether than a diverse economy with a lot of different things would be much harder to control that way.
Also planned was the Jonglei Canal project to transfer water from the marshy south upstream to the north. The government promised foreign investors Sudan would have a green revolution with this project, having more arable land than the rest of the Arab world combined. Southerners protested for the rights to their own oil revenue and water resources, so the government promised development projects for the South, none of which were kept.
Right.
In fact, the entire canal project was scrapped when the conflict intensified. This second bout of fighting would begin the longest civil war in African history, ending in the breakup of the country. The main resistance was the Southern People's Liberation Movement and Army, led by John Garang. Originally, they wanted to found a new Sudan, which was secular, democratic, and socialist, and actually had some northerners who were opposed to Islamic rule join it.
Okay.
The government was able to convince America to fund its campaign against these socialist agitators, while their funds came from communist Ethiopia.
Okay.
But after decades of fighting, the SPLM started explicitly calling for separation from the North.
Okay.
What changed for them was the start of the third military cycle.
You hate the third
Namiri
one.
was ousted in 1985. An ineffective administration couldn't keep power, only to be couped by the National Islamic Front.
Another coup.
In charge, al-Turabi and al-Bashir. The new NIF government would do just as the others had done, continue
shocker.
fighting the South and crushing their political opponents. But just 10 years after they took charge, the NIF split, not into ideological sects, but over who should be in charge.
Okay.
Before that, al-Turabi's most significant addition to history was being chums with bin Laden and getting Sudan.
Damn, now there's even a war between bros. That's crazy. Not even religious differences, not even class differences, not even ideological difference. Literally differences over who gets to be on top. Bro v bro.
Ideological sects, but over who should be in charge. Before that, al-Turabi's most significant addition to history was being chums with bin Laden and getting Sudan put on America's state sponsors of terrorism list, ending all American aid to the country.
Okay.
Long story short, as the economy waned under sanctions, al-Bashir and the National Congress Party would take charge, marking a slowdown of the war with the South.
Okay.
For one reason, al-Turabi was the one more concerned with pushing an Islamic Sudan south. Secondly, the war was no longer affordable. Too many human and fiscal resources were going towards it, while sanctions were weighing
just now
heavy
figured
on the
that out?
government. Thirdly, this new oil provided a huge incentive to end the war to get it going. And last, al-Bashir focused his military administration on another region, Darfur. During the Second Civil War with the South, fighting spread to the west as al-Bashir viewed Darfur with the same contempt that many viewed the South with.
Okay.
See, throughout the 1980s, a flow
This
of
isn't really
nomadic
better.
Arabs came into the region to escape a decade-long war between Libya
Jesus
and
Christ.
Chad, which, by the way, in its final
Jesus
act,
Christ.
concluded with the Great Toyota War. Libya's dictator Muammar
Toyota
Gaddafi
War?
had planned on expanding his kingdom down into Chad and eventually the entire Sahara. To help with this, he set up training camps around his enemies. Darfur's unpoliced Wild West was a great staging post for his fight against the Chadian Hissène Habré.
Oh
But
my God, he's
a mix of refugees, weapons, and a
The actual
constant
Giga
stream
Chad?
of racial supremacy doesn't usually end up great for the local population. Though the two groups had coexisted for decades before, even commonly marrying into each other's families,
Okay.
that didn't last when the drought came.
Oh no.
Then, tensions boiled over between native farmers and the nomadic herders
Over
over
water.
what little water supplies remained. What followed was complete breakdown, to the point where the police had to beg for fuel so they could do their routine patrols. And it was around this time when devils on horseback started to float around in relation to these new Chadian professional fighters.
Okay.
When Gaddafi failed to take Chad, many nomadic Arabs stayed in Darfur.
Well, I'm sorry, Gaddafi had a plan to take all of the Sahara, and he couldn't even take Chad, his first target, and he ruined this whole fucking region in his attempt. Good shit.
Failed to
Good
take
shit,
Chad,
Gaddafi. Good
many
job.
nomadic Arabs stayed in Darfur.
That's an L.
Years of Arab oppression went by before they revolted under the Sudan Liberation Movement and the Justice and Equality Movement. Fearing the region would end up like South Sudan, al-Bashir empowered the Janjaweed to do as they pleased, burn villages and kill locals en masse.
That doesn't
Because
sound like a
many
good
in the
idea.
forces aren't paid, they've been incentivized to loot as much as they can, leaving behind empty apartments, offices, and shops, leaving refugees to swell in makeshift tent cities in the suburbs. The Darfurian genocide saw the deaths of at least 500,000 people throughout the Second Civil War, an atrocity which Hemedti played a key and personal role in, and one which also made al-Bashir the first head of state ever to be indicted by the International Criminal Court for his role in masterminding it. As the military shifted its focus here, it left
is
the South to negotiate their way out of the hole.
This is a separate account of 500,000 plus people dying. This is not the modern one. This is the one before it that led to the modern one. That's
Mess. Al-Bashir was open to it, and in 2005 they signed the Comprehensive Peace Agreement,
Oh, good.
outlining
I'm
the
sure there's peace
post-war
forever
divisions
now.
of wealth and power, as well as giving the South the option to secede by 2011. Part of the reason, the NCP viewed
2011.
the South as a distinct people rather than a vacuum to be filled. Another, the American government pressured the country into it by promising to lift their sanctions if they gave the Christians freedom, which did not end up happening after news of the Darfur genocide broke. In 2011, with a nearly 99% margin, they voted to become independent.
Okay.
However,
What happened?
in one agreement during the war, the South would be defined as this line, the three original provinces. But in this new CPA, they would allow South Kordofan, Blue Nile, and Abyei to join as well, creating a disputed border that lasts to this day.
Oh my God.
Kind of. Sudan doesn't really have any borders right now. It didn't help that they agreed to split oil revenues 50-50, but around 3/4 of oil reserves were found in the south.
Oh yeah.
So before and after independence, the two halves again fought over the border,
Right.
especially over the oil-rich province of Abyei, leading to more deaths, displacements, and a harsh version of Sharia being implemented in the north, a version shaped by al-Bashir. He
Not as
said
harsh as
there would be
Brooklyn,
no more
is all I'll
question
say.
of diversity now that the South is gone. A pretty bad foreshadowing as to how he viewed how he wanted his country to run. While the South pretty much devolved into ethnic slaughter as soon as it got independence.
Right.
The decade between the end of the war and the South's independence was the only time Sudan really had an economic
Hey, that's
boom,
pretty
as
good.
it used oil revenues to invest into education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Look at this graph of Sudanese foreign exchange earnings. The biggest thing here was oil, with gold barely making
Oil
the
and
same
gold.
dent. 95% of foreign exchange
It's
and
oil and
60%
gold.
of government revenue was tied to oil. Al-Bashir had also built a patronage network based on this oil revenue. Again, see the crash. Where subsidies to basic goods were given to the Sudanese middle class, bribes and development projects were given to business and local elites, and funding to private security forces were all dependent on these fields.
This is what I said. I mean, you can run an authoritarian government entirely off oil, basically. If it's pumping well enough, you can pay off any group that would oppose you. You can give bribes to all the fucking friends. You can.
He also siphoned billions to overseas bank accounts for himself.
Well, you gotta take
Thus,
a little taste.
after the loss of this chunk in 2011, he was screwed. From its peak of $10 billion in 2010, foreign exchange earnings fell to around $300 million in 2016, 3% of what they were. Al-Bashir then tried to ramp up pipeline costs to Port Sudan, which the South Sudanese president responded with murder-suicide, ceasing to transport all oil through the pipe. When that was resolved and it really dawned on al-Bashir how little sources of foreign revenue he had left, he institutionalized the Janjaweed, rebranding them as the RSF and allowing them to do whatever they could to make money.
Oh my God.
He basically privatized this militia group.
That's an insane
They
plan.
exported soldiers to the Yemeni civil war to make some money, got into construction, trading weapons, but most importantly, started gold production. Especially after they captured the massive Jebel Amir gold mine in Darfur.
Yeah, but they probably did
Big
this ethically.
shocker,
This is probably
this
ethical.
didn't replace Sudan's lost foreign exchange, and as an import-reliant country, losing their reserves would
ethical.
result in a, what we can say now, country-ending crisis.
Right.
In 2018, his patronage network formally collapsed when he ended subsidies to bread and fuel, nearly tripling the price of food for the average person, starting the protests which ousted him, taking us back to where we started.
Right.
The loss of South Sudan broke al-Bashir's patronage system and left a bloated military with nothing to do. Attempting layoffs would threaten the regime as many young, military-trained men would suddenly be out of work.
Right.
To give you some perspective, roughly 70% of the government's spending went into the army or private security groups in 2016, while 2% went to
70%?
education and 1% went to health spending. Throughout this whole thing, the RSF, likely seeing the writing on the walls, created their own streams of revenue to stay independent from the central government. A far ways from Hemedti's humble beginnings as a...
No, you guys are saying we're on our way to... USA has a very large military budget, but it's like fucking 8% or something. What percent of US budget is military? 13%. I'm sorry. That is actually really high, but it's not 70. It's let me tell you something. I'll tell you what's higher than military spending. Interest payments. We spend more on debt interest. Fucking ridiculous, bro.
A camel trader, he now controls the region's mines and oil refineries, cementing a literal business empire in the desert. Their most important connection is with the UAE, which is the world's hub of gold refining and trading. It's been reported that they've sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of gold to the Emirates through Hemedti's family company Al Junaid, and that the Emirati government has funded the paramilitary with smuggled weapons and aid through the eastern Libyan corridor. Of course, they officially deny all of this, but the Emirati business interests in the country are too great. It's one of the biggest gold-producing regions on Earth, and by placing a bet on the RSF winning the war or seceding, they can keep growing their position as the world's gold superpower. They also rely on Sudan for food imports, as it was an al-Bashir program.
Did I mention that China is building this massive, like 800-ton gold vault in Dubai? Think about that. It's fucking crazy. They're building it so they can do payments settled in gold. It's such a like it's like an obvious step towards like a de-dollarized payment system. Yeah, it's pretty
To
wild.
sell some of Sudan's farmland to many Middle Eastern powers for their own food security, seeing what a lack of it could lead to. Keeping Sudan semi-functioning is just in the interest of the Emirates. And according to some experts, if they withdrew tomorrow, there's a good chance the war would end real quick. Also involved in the war are Russia's Wagner Group, also betting on the RSF to win to protect gold supplies under the Mero Gold Company. And on the other side, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, Ukraine, and the Russian government, who would all like to see some sort of stability in what they view as a geostrategically important region. Despite all their atrocities, the RSF still wants to project themselves as a force of democracy and peace.
Did he say Ukraine and Russia are on the same side here? Is that what he said? Ukraine and Russia both support the same side of this war?
As a geostrategically important region.
What a fuster.
Despite all their atrocities, the RSF still wants to project themselves as a force of democracy and peace to gain governing legitimacy. In a world where you don't really have to go through these motions anymore. In 2025, the RSF came together to declare a government of peace and unity, drafting a constitution for what their new country may look like.
Peace and unity?
And although there's not really another government on Earth who buys this delusion, basically sanctioned by the whole Western world, there's also not a government who really cares much to do anything about it.
Right.
Meanwhile, sitting in the southern Nuba Mountains, a remnant of a past war can be found in a new form.
I think this is the spot Aiden wants us to go. I knew it, dude. I think there's a third place. There's a safe spot. The yellow zone. Okay? This is the safe zone. They're not in the fight.
Distracted by the civil war, the SPLM has attacked and set up a little republic of New Sudan, comprising about 500,000 people. They've started their own English language schools, made their own court system outside of Islamic law, and have started the fight for a Western-style secular democracy.
This is the place.
It's a reminder as to how far Sudan has gone.
This is the way. That is the place. I swear to God, I wasn't kidding. He was like, there's this little spot in the middle, but it's like, at any moment, if they stopped fighting each other, they could just destroy it. That's basically what he's like. It's like, if they ever stopped being constantly fighting each other, then they're like, there's this.
In its current crisis, that the issue the government has spent almost its entire existence trying to stop has just gone ahead because nobody has the capacity or care to squash these southern rebels. Unfortunately, there's just not that much care to go around for what is almost certainly Sudan's largest crisis in its existence. Not much care for the increasingly nihilistic people living there, leaving behind no governing structure for society, and, unless you're the Emirati Sheikh, not much care from the outside world as well. If you enjoyed this video and are a longtime viewer but have...
I wouldn't say I fucking enjoyed it. That was one of the most bleak and depressing things I've seen all year. That was horrendous, but I do think it was well done, and I appreciate him making it.
Haven't subscribed, please do. It's free, and it will go like beep boop in the algorithm, being like rocket fuel for this channel, incentivizing me to make more videos.
It wasn't that silly.
And if you haven't checked out this video...
I'll check it out, but good video. I liked it. Thank you for making it. But damn, that is some bleak stuff. Legends say every time you blink at a world map, Sudan gets divided into smaller Sudans. The number 2 top comment is, you gotta be kidding me that this army is called Ganja Weed and it's run by a guy named Hot Dog Duggalo. That's fucking crazy. I gotta be honest with you. That's crazy. Not the takeaway I had from that video, but yes. Indeed. Dude, I just want to tell you guys something. I don't want I just got a message. Actually, I got two messages. I got a message from my mom, who I guess was watching on Facebook, who said, "Don't go to Sudan." Quit watching. Quit watching. That's insane. That's insane. That is too late. You shouldn't be watching. And then I got a message from, so I recommended this book. It's called How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia. I've recommended this book. A lot of you said, whatever, I'm not going to read it. Somebody in chat has read it, and they messaged me. It was really powerful, and they enjoyed it. But I recommended it to a person in real life, to a friend of ours named Anders. And I recommended it to them, and he's like, I don't know. But he was at my house for Thanksgiving, a Friendsgiving I hosted, and I gave him the book, and I said, read it. And he's like, all right. He read it. He just messaged me. He said, this is a quote, "That was probably one of the most beautiful, heart-wrenching, powerful books I've ever read. My God." That was a direct quote. This book, by the way, I am the douchey business guy that bought this book in 2013 because I thought the title was real. I thought this title was real. This book is not about this title at all. But I read it anyway, and it was heart-wrenching and beautiful, and it makes you think about life. It makes you think about aging. It makes you think about, it's not even long, but it's a short book. It makes you think about what the fuck the point of money is. It makes you think about everything. What our brief time on earth. It's a beautiful book, and it really moved me to this day, and I highly recommend it. If you want a book that'll make you cry, make you think, I recommend it a lot. I just want to continually say that because it is a fiction book, by the way. It's not Big A, react to Asmongold. You might agree with more than you would think. I already agree with everything Asmongold says. I 1-to-1. Every day I wake up and I watch Asmongold clips and I repeat them for Big A, dude. So you don't need to convince me. I'm fucking sold. There's a Fast and the Furious adaptation coming in There's a Fast and the Furious book coming? Jesus Christ, I gotta buy that. Is there a plan to do a poverty line presentation? Yes, 100%. Oh, I gotta say something on this. Wait, this is fucking crazy. Some of you might follow me on Twitter, and if you don't, you should. And if you follow me on Twitter, you might have noticed, dun dun dun, what the fuck is this, Big A? You got a fucking verified account? You pay for the goddamn check mark? Here's the answer. No, I didn't. I swear, I fucking didn't. Dude, someone messaged me about this, and so I'm looking into it. I think, this is my guess, I'm going to give you my best guess, because people who work at Twitter have messaged me about my channel quite a bit, including Grok employees who said, haha, yeah, I know it sucks, but I like working there. I think maybe one of them gave me a verified account. That's my best guess. I promise. I swear I'd not buy this. However, I was thinking about buying it because I thought if you buy verification, you can send a DM to someone. And I'm trying to DM, the reason I brought this up, I'm trying to DM Mike Green so I can get the interview that he said he would do if I DM'd him. But guess what? So I checked today. I have the thing. I didn't pay for it. I check. You still can't fucking DM him. Just follow me back, Mike Green, so I can fucking DM you. So goddamn stupid. So goddamn stupid. I'm getting big dogged. Anyway, I bring that up to say I'm doing a presentation on Mike Green's 140K poverty line thing this week. This week it's happening. Have you considered emailing him? Yes. I got Melody Wright, who's his friend in real life, to send him an email. And then she told me, yeah, he didn't respond to my email. And they, what the fuck? This guy's big fucking dogging me in every way you possibly can. I don't understand, dude. I don't understand. What makes you think he'll respond to a DM? Because he added me and said, DM me. I tweeted at him and said, hey, I want to do an interview. And then he said, sure, DM me. But I can't DM him because he doesn't follow me. And so I responded and said, hey, I can't DM you because you don't follow me. He didn't respond to that. He's never responded since. So I'm getting fucking big dogged. Take the hint. Dude, I swear to God, I don't think it's a hint. I think this guy is boomering me. He does interviews that get like 800 views. And I know that if he did an interview on Big A, we would get 300 to 400,000. I know it would be the most viewed interview he's ever done. And he's not, I'm getting ghosted. He wants to stay indie? Maybe. Maybe he's not a clout chaser. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's not a clout chaser. Maybe I'm too fucking mainstream. Maybe that's what it is, bro. Maybe he doesn't want to ego Andy. Totally possible. Totally fucking possible, bro. I wouldn't throw that out. Penguin Force, thank you for the fucking 2 months. Thank you to all subs today, bro. I bled like 800 subs because I didn't fucking stream for a week. Appreciate the subs. Thank you, Sneezy Fabrizi. Thank you, Monsoon. Thank you, Sosa. Thank you, M. Dahlia. Thank you, Jetter. Thank you, Retrogrades. Appreciate all you. OG Cruise 1, Hoopa GX, H Heat, So Calm, Hammo IQ, Plurt, Damian Dank, and Penguin I Chunk. Sir, what are you doing? Chunky Lemon. Thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Navi Flower, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Please watch the Drew Gooden video. It's the video of the year. Bro, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but isn't it just a bunch of Big A clips put together? Isn't it just fucking what I've been saying about going back to high marginal tax rates and fucking, am I gonna watch this shit again? He's funnier than you? I don't doubt it. Drew Gooden is a hilarious YouTuber, is a master of his craft. But I feel like it's going to be me just saying, yas, to the whole damn thing. And I don't know, maybe I need to, I'm already feeling some type of way about that type of react. I'm trying to find, he has better hair too? Well, you wouldn't know, but I wear a hat. But yeah, I don't doubt it. I'll only watch it if someone makes a compilation of finding an old clip of me saying the same thing for every section. That's all I like. Because I'm not going to watch it if I can't say I told you so on Atrioc and I can't find. Someone's got to do that. Otherwise, there's no point. I have to have a narcissistic angle to it. You used to wear the hat a lot less. Dude, people think that's because of the hair. I promise you, as bald as I've always been, the reason I wear the hat more is because every time I wear the hat, it makes money. I don't know how to break it to you. Every time I wear this hat and it goes in a clip, I make money, like a good chunk of money on the fucking clip. Every clip with the hat. And so at first I was doing it sometimes and then more and then more. And if every clip I don't have the hat in it, I'm losing a few $100. It just doesn't make sense. It's product placement. And it's like the easiest thing to do, dude. Oh, I wanted to watch this. Wait. I was almost thinking about ending, but I'm not going to because I want to watch it with you. Bro, speaking of Atrioc, not to go crazy, but you know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, there was a period like 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, where all I fucking talked about was Chinese EVs. I talked about Chinese over and over, and I had to constantly debate my fucking chat who were like, oh my God, Chinese EVs, they all explode. They'll never sell. It's not the fake numbers, fake news. Okay? And then as time passed, those people started to slowly drop off. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, Chinese EVs? Of course, everyone knew they'd be big. And it's like, all right, fucking fine. I promise you didn't, because I remember the nonstop comments and debates. But now that we're here in 2025 and everybody agrees that China's dominated the EV market and they're selling a gargantuan amount and BYD has passed Tesla, we have a video from fucking MKBHD where he's driving Xiaomi's EV through a school zone probably and asking, are we cooked? And I wanted to watch it because he is a really good reviewer. And I want to know, what he thinks about it. Because I think this is the newer one, not even the one that I want, which is the Xiaomi SU7. I think this is the one after that.
All right, so there are a lot of hot takes in the tech world, and I see
deeply considered, by the way, I deeply considered buying one of these, but the tariff was 100%. So I have to pay double the cost of the car. And it would seem so stupid. I could buy 2 cars. It's so crazy. So I just can't justify buying it unless maybe it's for a video or something, but it's too loud. I turn it down.
a lot of them in the comments section and in articles all the time, and one of the most common ones is
people saying buy it in Mexico and drive it up, or buy it in somewhere else and drive it over. That's illegal. It's called smuggling. If I were to buy it in Mexico and drive it up and they caught me, I would have to pay not only the tariff, but a massive, I might get arrested. It's literally, you can get jail time. And I know because I looked into it. I'm trying to do that. I thought I would go to Mexico, see Ari's family, and buy a fucking Chinese EV. But you can't.
Yo, have you seen these Chinese electric cars? If they ever came to the US, they would cook everything that we have here. They are too good, they have too much tech, and they are too cheap to not dominate everything. And so I figured I should get my hands on one and actually figure out if that's true or not. And, yeah, you could say there's a little something to it.
All right, let's see what this frisbee golfer has to say.
There are so many crazy things I've learned about this car while I've been testing it, but let's just start with the basics. This car here I've been driving for the last 2 weeks is called the Xiaomi SU7.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Okay, this is the car I wanted. This is the car I've wanted for a while now. I've been talking about the Xiaomi SU7 since it came out. This is the car that I wanted to buy, which is crazy because Xiaomi is a fucking phone company in China. And they started getting into cars right about when Apple was thinking about getting to make the Apple car. Apple spent 10 years, got nothing, and quit. And Xiaomi made this car in like 3. And now it's like one of the best high-end EVs in the world.
Xiaomi. So the Xiaomi that makes basically everything in China: tablets, headphones, robot vacuums, printers, appliances, and smartphones. And they even refer to the trims of this car as the SU7, SU7 Pro, SU7 Max, and SU7
True, it's the
Ultra.
iPhone.
So this here is the SU7 Max, and this retails for about 299,000 Chinese yuan, which actually converts to about $42,000 US, which is gonna be a lot more impressive in about 5 minutes. So base specs, this is a fully electric 4-door sedan, 101 kilowatt hour battery, dual motor, all-wheel drive, 673 horsepower, and 320 miles of range. Already, those are specs on paper on the level of like a Tesla Model 3 Performance, which today costs like $55,000. Now, looking around the outside of this car, it looks like a pretty reasonable car. I think a lot of people would agree. But that's the thing. This is Xiaomi we're talking about making this car. And they're not a car company, which means they don't have any previous designs that they have to pay homage to or any traditional lines and shapes that they have to keep around, which means a little bit less prestige, yes, but also a little bit more freedom. Because I see them taking stuff from all over the rest of the car industry
It's from
in this
Porsche.
car. Like these headlights, for example. That is very much a McLaren-looking headlight. And they have Lotus lines on the hood here. And then as you get back, even more. Kind of looks like a Porsche Taycan from the side profile, if I'm not crazy. It has these thin bezels like the Polestar, and then a thicker taillight across the back, which kind of looks maybe like a Lincoln or some others. And then there's a fully active wing on the back that kind of looks like a Mercedes-AMG GT. All of these are more expensive cars from more premium brands.
I mean, I don't know all the little details things, but I do know that the Xiaomi SU7 was open like, we're just going to rip off the Porsche Taycan and make it way cheaper. But like, you know, solid quality. And that's what they did. And they fucking, and it's an amazing deal. It's an incredible deal. Porsche Taycan costs like $200K.
And so they kind of meld them all together into one car with this kind of unique purple color that honestly I think looks pretty good. And we're not even on the inside yet. So the inside here.
Dude, this is where all the Chinese EVs are fucking crazy though. The software they have is crazy. You know, do you remember when Tesla was first kind of popping, especially here in like America? And the one thing that made them pop on social media and everywhere was all the little software updates. Like they'd make the car like play music on Christmas, and they had all the, you know, they had all the little software things and the iPad dashboard. Like, but Tesla has really slowed down on that stuff in the past few years. Like the updates on that are not nearly as much. China's like accelerated dramatically. Like there's constant over-the-air updates, and they constantly have new quality of life features on the software of the car.
Is where they really start to stack the wins. This is a nice car, not just in like a nice with an asterisk type of way, like, oh, this is nice for a $45,000 car, or, oh, this is nice for a car I've never heard of. No, this is a nice car. It's got this pretty clean design all around the interior. Again, bringing in inspiration and premium features from a bunch of different places. Like these are comfortable, heated, and ventilated leather seats. This heated steering wheel looks and feels a lot like a Porsche steering wheel to me, with the shape and the simplicity and just a few buttons with stalks at the bottom. There's a big, bright, and automatically aligning HUD in front of me, right in front of the road at all times. That's awesome. That's right above a small display behind the steering wheel, and then a 16-inch primary display in the center. And then there's storage everywhere. There's here in the middle between the front seats, where they've also cleverly stored a flashlight powered by the car's battery, kind of like Rivian. And believe it or not, a tasteful amount of real hardware controls here. There's a power on-off button right here. There's temperature controls up and down, fan speed up and down at my fingertips. You can also put the wing up or down at the back of the car. And there's a lift height.
It's not as nice as a 2017 Honda Fit with a scratch in the side. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Like, it's a nice car, don't get me wrong. But, you know, there is a tier list here, and the Honda Fit is...
because there is, of course, an adjustable air suspension. Up at the top, there's a pair of air-cooled 50-watt wireless chargers, because, you know, if you got a Xiaomi car, you might as well have a Xiaomi phone with 50-watt wireless charging to match. So those go up there. There's also a huge tinted glass panoramic sunroof over my head. Very nice feature. The headliner is all Alcantara everywhere. And there are 25 speakers in this car that sound really good, and ambient lighting everywhere that pulses to the bass of your music.
That's crazy.
In the colors of the album art of the song that's playing, because it's connected to the car and it just knows that type of thing. And that's not even mentioning the backseat experience of this car, which is also really nice. Those screens for the rear passengers are Xiaomi tablets, because of course they are. I haven't even driven it yet, and it's already feeling like a $65,000 car. But there are not one, but two really cool features I've never seen in any other car that are in this one. So number one is the software. The software is so good. This feels like a preview kind of like what Apple might have done if they'd made an Apple car. I say that because it's super smooth, just like a smartphone, but also it's a car made by someone who makes a phone. And so the car plugs right into the Xiaomi ecosystem in so many ways. There's a wireless charger, but also wireless screen mirroring. It connects to various other Xiaomi. Dude, it mirrors your screen?
Oh my goodness. Oh my fucking goodness. You can get your phone screen on the fucking... This is what I'm talking... This is what they're keeping from us. Dude, I will say this. Okay. People think China's like a fucking communist country. China's probably the most capitalist country on earth right now. China's probably the most capitalist country on earth right now. And one thing they did, I was reading this book Breakneck. We're reading it for the fucking, we're reading the book Breakneck. We'd read the book Breakneck for Lemonade Stand. It's Dan Wang. He spent 10 years in America, 10 years in China. He's a Canadian. Talking about similarities and differences, especially right now. And one thing he mentioned is that China, in an effort to make their own EV companies level up, and probably to steal some ideas, let's be real, broke their own rule and allowed Tesla to fully own their factory in China, which usually they don't allow them to do. But they said, if we allow Tesla into China, it's like releasing a catfish into a koi pond. And apparently it makes all the koi swim faster. This is the fucking idea, all right? So they did do this. And then in the years since, by the way, the famous 2019 Atrioc prediction, we've already seen the Discord screenshots because I show every 5 minutes. But I did call this in 2019, recorded it. It's on Discord. I've showed it. In the years since, everybody in China leveled up fucking massively, and now they're cooking Tesla. In 2019, it was unthinkable. And in 2025, it's like fucking old news. China's way ahead. And we, as Americans, are using fucking tariffs to keep cars like this out, when in fact, we should be welcoming them in so that it makes everybody level up. The only way to get fucking GM and Ford and Honda and everyone else to level up is if you allow them to compete with something like this. This, at this price, is the only way. They're not going to add these features because we asked nicely. You have to put the fucking catfish in the koi pond. Competition is the only thing that works. It's insane that we use like overprotectionism. It's the only good part about capitalist free market economies is the competition. If you get rid of that part, you only have the downsides. You only get the stuff everybody hates. The only thing that's good is the competition that drives down costs and drives up innovation. It's the best part. It's the part everybody actually likes. They like the fucking Steam store with 1 million indie games. I don't understand. That's the thing I'm fucking preaching. Like, we're getting none of the good part. No wonder everybody fucking hate. We got half the fucking kids in here turning fucking Karl Marx hats on, okay? It's because they get none of the good sides. They get none of the fucking diversity of products competing for their benefit. They get one fucking company monopolized, protected by the government. It's fucking crazy.
Home accessories like security cameras, you can sign into them with the car with your account, so everything from text messages to map directions are all syncing from your phone. And hey, if all else fails, thankfully as a backup, this car also happens to have wireless Apple CarPlay, and it's nice. I think it is the biggest, nicest window of wireless CarPlay I have ever seen in a car. I think probably my favorite example of the software being incredible in this car is you see the speaker and the headrest behind me.
Oh my God.
When I'm driving and my phone is paired to the speakers in this car and I'm navigating, you know that part where like you're driving and the music's getting pretty good and right as the bass is about to drop, the navigation voice comes on and interrupts it?
Yeah.
That never happens in this car because it separates out the voice from the navigation and puts it just in that speaker behind me while all of the rest of the music and the sound in the car stays exactly the same. So as a driver, I hear the voice saying, turn left, turn right, but everything else, including the music for all the passengers, stays sick. That is my favorite software feature I've seen in a car.
I want this car so bad.
So the software being awesome is the one thing, but the second awesome thing is the modules.
Because it sounds stupid, but I deal with that problem every day. I deal with that problem every day. Every day I'm driving and listening to a fucking podcast and I'm about to hear something interesting and then it goes fucking turn left. I deal with it all the time. I deal with it all the fucking time. Just mute voice. You don't understand. I am fucking brain dead. If I mute the voice, I will miss my exit every time. I will miss it every time because I'm listening to the fucking podcast. I'm listening to something interesting and I'm trying to keep the thoughts in my brain and I'm driving and I'm not listening where I'm going. And if I don't have a fucking thing telling me turn left, then I won't turn left. And so if I could have it like this, it would be so incredible.
This is a modular interior because hidden around this car are a bunch of various mounting points.
Which podcast? I listened to this podcast called Lemonade Stand. It is actually really fucking insightful and wise. I listen to it on 0.5 speed 2 times a day to make sure I get all the information. Okay? And I buy the Patreon too, and I get the fucking tier 2, and I get the fucking book club. If you must know.
For modular accessories. There's one over here in the corner, and another over here in the center, all the way around the back of this center display. And so on these mounting points, you can attach various accessories that Xiaomi makes, like this extra speedometer and trip display, or this magnetic car mount in the corner of the car, or this super useful USB hub that gets full power and can pass it along through a cable to passengers in the backseat or wherever they want. There's also high-quality microphones that pair to the car for a karaoke experience.
That's crazy.
Or even long-range walkie-talkies for some reason, if you need to maybe shoot a video with the car and communicate with the camera car. What other car does this? I've never seen the ability to customize exactly how much hardware or how little hardware you have in the interior layout like Xiaomi does. I mean, they're not a car company, clearly, but they've come up with some really innovative things to make the car uniquely your own. You can make it maximalist. You can make it minimalist. You can do as much or as little as you want. And that'll, of course, fluctuate the price you pay, but hey, that's up to you. I think that's pretty sick. All of that is without even mentioning all the little stuff like the active noise cancellation in here, the quality of the speakers, the surround sound, all of the other things that the software does really, really well. And I haven't even gotten to driving it yet. So this is obviously a standard issue 4-door electric car, right? But the superpower of electric cars is that they can have multiple personalities. That's what makes these interesting. So in its default mode, which is comfort mode, it's pretty nice, actually. It rides super soft, it's chill. The air suspension is actually pretty incredible. I feel like this is on the same level of absorbing all these bumps and all these potholes and the things on the road as the Lucids that I've driven. Like, this is really quite good. And it never gets too unsettled. The accelerator pedal, it's responsive enough. It's not like super twitchy and aggressive. It's obviously the comfort mode, so you feel like you have all the power you need, but it rolls it on nicely and eases off when you remove your foot from the pedal. And what a lot of other EVs don't.
The Ford CEO had this car. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, went to China, got this car, brought it back, got a special license to drive it in America, and he used it for like 8 months and said it's the best car he ever drove. And it made him rethink everything they were doing at Ford. Okay? That's fucking crazy.
Don't have is this really high degree of customization over exactly how that feels. Like, there is a full-on power delivery slider. You can move it to be a fully rear-wheel drive vehicle all the way to a fully front-wheel drive.
Which, by the way, just so you don't think I'm fucking kidding. Ford CEO Jim Farley. I drive a Xiaomi SU7. We flew it from Shanghai to Chicago. I've been driving it for 6 months now. I don't want to give it up.
Like talking about the competition so much, but I drive the Xiaomi. We flew one from Shanghai to Chicago, and I've been driving it for 6 months now, and I don't want to give it up.
Where the fuck are
I don't like talking about.
True. I drove a Ford Focus for 4 years, and I wanted to give it up immediately on day one, but I couldn't afford to. Okay, that shit was trash.
Vehicle. And then the lift-off regen is nice and secure and assuring. This is you never have to take the car out of this mode if you never wanted to. This is a very reasonable thing to expect from a 4-door electric car. But there's also a drive mode knob down here. And if I just turn it one notch to the right, everything turns red. The graphics in front of me change. I get my estimated range and my speed and how much power I'm using. And then I rotate it again, and it's Sport Plus mode. And there's a G-force meter now. And now all of a sudden, the accelerator pedal is way more responsive and twitchy, and everything firms up. And the steering is definitely heavier. So this feels much more like a fun type of drive. And it's not quite on the maxed out level. Like, I know people want to compare this to Porsche Taycan. This is not Porsche Taycan levels of sporty, but it's like one notch below that, which is still really good. It's got all the EV party tricks, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds.
That's insane.
Launch control, and even a little boost button where if you press the drive mode button, you get this crazy graphic on the screen, and then that's all of your power, which is sick. So obviously it does great in a straight line with 600 plus horsepower, but it
He hits the button, smash cut to a fucking school zone sign. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, not again. Turbo mode!
On the same level of Model 3 performance or BMW i4. This is a really capable car. It's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothes type of car where you see it on the road and it doesn't necessarily look like something that has
Dude, it looks nice.
Porsche
It's a wolf in
911
wolf's
Turbo
clothes.
S horsepower, but it does. And so yeah, it just gives you this confidence of being able to place the car wherever you want on the road, and that is the superpower of electric cars. Plus, it's got these active bolsters. The seats are hugging me when I go around turns. So when I turn right, the left bolster kind of like hugs, like catches me a little bit. This is something those very expensive G-Wagons have done and popularized for a while now. It's a little weird.
It's a nice looking car. I think the model you have, you know, with no plate on it and fucking all black, it's a nice looking car, bro. I think it looks good. It's a fucking hot car. It's Taycan-ish. It's more than Taycan-ish, bro. They ripped it. I mean, no, there's
Not gonna lie, but
no need to lie
just
about
makes
it.
you think it's doing something. It's also become much more apparent as I'm driving this car how well built it really is. It does not feel anything like the $42,000 price tag might suggest. Like, obviously the materials are one thing, and you've got these leathers all around and the stitching and these different contrasted materials, but also just in general, like, it's quiet in here. I don't hear motor noise. I don't hear wind very much. I don't hear other cars or noises around me outside the car. Like, I can verify that there are noises out
Dude,
there.
aren't there like American EVs where they pump in the engine noise to make it sound more like a... I think that's so funny. European too. That's so funny. I think it's so funny. It's like you know LARP is having a fucking engine when you tell them.
That I'm not hearing. It's sick. And then there's the active noise cancellation on top of that. So it just feels like a really serene, calm experience just because it's so well built. And you might have also noticed the LiDAR box right above me on the top of this car here, because the other button on the steering wheel is Xiaomi's full self-driving, which doesn't work on every road here in the US, but in China you have Pilot Pro and Pilot Max, and those will take care of almost all of the driving on almost all of the roads the same way something like a Tesla Model 3 might here in the US. So I've turned it on this road. This is a smaller single lane road and it's totally fine. And there's all sorts of things like obstacles that it has to avoid, and it handles that. It's never really done anything to give me pause or seem kind of weird, and it's not even designed for these roads or this market. So I imagine in China it's even better than this.
Right.
I'm honestly trying to think of like a negative. Now that I've been living with this car and I've been driving it for weeks, I've driven and reviewed many other cars for the past couple years, and usually the downsides are so obvious. Like, oh, the tech is usually pretty bad, like the software is bad. But, well, this is Xiaomi. Like, they make smartphones, they make all this tech already. The software is great. The self-driving works. The cameras are great. The displays are great. All the tech is there. And then all the EV fundamentals are also still there. It has the 300 plus miles of range. It has...
It's just fucked that we don't have this. It's just fucked. It's crazy. It's not good. It's not... And like, if I thought, like, there's a geostrategic reason and we just can't allow China to dominate the EV industry. And, by the way, closing them out paradoxically makes them dominate it, because it makes your homegrown competitors less competitive because they don't have to swim at the high level. So the rest of the world slowly but surely migrates over to the Chinese EV while you fall behind. So it actually is the opposite. But if I thought, you know, okay, well, we're going to get an American version that catches up. But I think I think when you add 100% tariffs, you prevent them from catching up because they don't have to. The best we get is fucking Tesla. I mean, that in the EV space. And so it's, although I think Elon's actually got a lot of competition in the West nowadays too. I visited a friend when I was in Arizona this past weekend. He drove a fucking, I don't even remember the brand. Maybe it was Hyundai. It was a new EV, and I was driving it, and I was like, damn, this is nice. This is really nice. I didn't even know that EVs were on this level outside of, maybe it was a Ioniq. Maybe it was Ioniq. It might have been the Ioniq. Yeah, Hyundai Ioniq. Might have been that. But it was like a nice car. It didn't have all this, but it had some of these features. It was like nice fucking software, nice interior. And I was like, damn, that's pretty good. So there's definitely some competition.
The quick charging, and it has the split personalities. It has the super chill, calm cruiser mode, and the 600 horsepower, brutal launch control, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, sporty mode. And then on top of all that, it's built super well. Like, it has all the sound isolation and all of the hardware features and creature comforts and physical buttons and all the modules and all this. And it's like, this feels nothing like a $42,000 car, which I guess conveniently brings me back to the title of this video. So are we cooked? Not yet, clearly. This car is not available here in the US. But you can see how we could be soon. I genuinely, I'm not exaggerating when I say this is a $42,000 car that feels like a $75,000 car if it were made here in the US. And that's the thing that's most impressive about the Xiaomi SU7. And that's just this one. So really, now that I've gotten to live with this and drive this here in the US among all the other cars I test, here's my take. It's not that there's any sort of crazy bleeding edge tech in this car that's impossible to replicate. Obviously, the software is really good, and the modularity and some of the features are kind of sick, and we haven't seen them before. But like, if you took this car apart, you wouldn't find anything inside, any like bleeding edge battery tech or anything that's impossible to replicate. This is a car made of normal car parts, but it's the putting them all together in one car that's so impressive. It's not often you see a car with great software, great features, great build quality.
Like, after all the shit he said, it'd be more than 75K. No, but the car costs 40 something. The car costs like 42. He said it's like a 75K car because it's fucking 30K more than it costs.
Great versatility, great range, and a great drive, and all stacked together. Like, that's pretty elite. There is basically no question in my mind that if a car like this was available in the US for $42,000, that it would crush, of course.
Yeah, of course.
The fact that it isn't is, of course, inherently political, and there's all the tariffs and import fees and all that. That's super variable, and we may never get a car like this available in the US for $42,000.
Isn't that crazy?
But Europe will, allegedly, in 2027. And I would say that the competition over...
By the way, I mean, on the flip side of it, though, on the flip side of like, let the catfish in and swim faster, I gotta be honest with you, I'm also worried about Europe. Because Europe kind of needs car manufacturing in a way like Germany needs it. It's like a big jobs industry there. And if they're getting fucking cooked on price and cost, and they're, you know, I can see the downsides too. You have to be willing to like take the hit and then get competitive long term, which I guess you can. You have to believe it. Maybe you have to even have some subsidies. I don't know. They gotta swim, because it's in the short term, it's gonna devastate. Chinese competition is gonna devastate. It's already happened. I mean, Europe's getting squeezed for sure. Europe's getting squeezed by China. A lot of, especially in Germany, things they did in manufacturing, they thought they would never be challenged in, are getting challenged by China, like pretty heavily. And it's causing a real fucking problem. In the US, would it not kill us? No, in the US, it would kill us. But listen, our car companies are just a much smaller share of jobs, the economy, than they used to be. Like, our car company, the American ones, you know, GM, Ford, they're already trash. They've already been beaten. You know what I'm saying? The big three ain't even big. So like, we would not lose as much as, so yeah, it might force me to be more competitive, but.
There is at least in a little bit of trouble when that happens. The idea that the competition is getting stronger and that cars like this actually exist some other places in the world is really exciting and heightens the ceiling for all EVs. It raises the ceiling up for all cars to get.
What do you think Japan's been? I mean, again, Japan and Germany are two countries that are worried about this the most. Japan was the I think maybe still is if you count all cars, but not EVs. Number one car. Actually, I think China passed them. I think China did pass Japan. China passes Japan car exports. Yes, they did. In late 23, early 24, China surpassed Japan to become the world's largest vehicle. Look at this chart. Look at this chart and how fucking crazy it is. Is there a higher res version? Please? Higher res? My chat's not looking at fucking this blurry one? There we go. Okay, look at this chart. Look at this fucking chart, bro. Look at this chart. So, by the way, can I draw on this? Can I draw on this? Where the fuck? Press edit? Edit. Where's my drawing? Markup? This is when my call was, by the way. This is when my call was on Discord, just so we're fucking clear. Okay? But look, like, literally, think about this. Zoom out. Can I cancel? That's Germany. That's America. That's Japan. China now #1 car exporter by the end of 23. All right? That is fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. It's such a massive change just since COVID. And people were unprepared for how quickly and how swiftly the domination was going to be. So yeah, I mean, proportionally, these are much bigger parts of their country's economy. And so they are worried the most about this new entrant because their gain comes at their loss. Obviously America too, but this is just a smaller percentage. And you're and like in markets where they have all three, because Europe doesn't have China's EVs yet. In markets where they have all three, like let's say a Brazil or an Australia, China is doing fucking massive numbers. China, if you're Australian people in chat can confirm, bro, you're seeing more Chinese cars. You're just seeing them. You're seeing them in Brazil. You're seeing them in the countries where they have all three. They're buying less of this, less of this. They never even bought much of this, but they're buying less of this. And they're seeing BYDs all over. It's happening. Anyone who's still heading their hand, like in 23, when I said this, I still have people in the chat being like, well, it's not really, they're not going to buy it next year when it explodes. But if in 25 you're still saying it, bro, you're cooked. You got to wake up. We got to figure out what to do about it. You got to, I'm about to watch the end of this video.
Get better and more impressive and more complete like this one. So lesson learned. It's going to be fascinating to keep an eye on this stuff in the future. If you want a more raw, like daily living with this vehicle type of video, check out the autofocus channel where I shot a video on the Xiaomi phone of the Xiaomi car. Thanks for watching. So hey, it is of course the holiday season. And in case
it's an ad. Thank you, MKBHD, for that incredible review. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I think it's one of the most important stories in economics right now is the rise of China's manufacturing sector on higher end products that they used to not touch. And it's really hitting Germany probably most of all, but the whole world. And on that note, I'm going to end for tonight. I have to go live tomorrow morning. Jerome Powell's Wednesday, right? So tomorrow morning to do something else. But we also have to record the podcast tomorrow, so I have to plan around that. It stands live. I'll rate him. Did you say? The Boys last season trailer. Wait, let's watch this real quick. Let's watch the Boys season trailer and then we'll end. The Boys, the final season. We're going to watch that with chat. April 8th. Excited to see it. Guys, thanks for watching the stream today. Glad to be back. Sorry, I've been a little in and out, and I can't even promise that I won't still be, but there will be live tomorrow. Good night, 07. I'm going to raid, I guess I'll raid Squeener. If he's live, we'll raid Squeener. Raid Squeaks. Go watch them play Dark Souls. Pookie raid! Pookie raid, Pookie raid, Pookie raid! Pookie raid. All right, good night. Good luck. Goodbye. Bye. My man's coming down from the... All right, bye.